15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Bronny James made his Summer League debut, I guess, and it didn't go great. Hey, welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We're not reveling in this by any stretch. It just didn't go well.
It didn't go bad. It's just he's not a good player. It went as it should go.
Well, that's a problem.
Well, is it a problem? I mean, just because he was drafted 55 overall by the Lakers doesn't mean that he can physically transform himself into a taller, better player. He is what he is.
Okay, but even though this is not your average person, because LeBron James, his father, is out here doing interviews. His Team USA is in Las Vegas right now, getting ready to head over to Paris for the Olympics. And he's saying, well, Brian doesn't care about the criticism, and we're not paying attention to the Summer League. Well, everyone else is. And for the people who thought that this was a total nepotism move, well, that first game, and it was a very small sample, but they've kind of been proven right. And I just don't know if Bronny's going to get a chance even to develop Perloff, because LeBron, on one hand, is also talking about the Lakers' expectations and that the expectations are to be in the championship hunt. There is no room for Bronny to learn, grow, develop, all that stuff if this is actually a team that's contending for a title. And this is where, the tension kind of comes, right? Which is, if you have guys like Anthony Davis and Reeves and Hachimura, and even expectations on new coach J.J. Redick, if the expectation is to be in the title hunt, then we don't really have time to fart around with the feel-good story of LeBron and Bronny, because that's just not, if this team is actually trying to, contend for a title, then that part of the story has got to be put way on the back burner, gone for the whole season.
Well, when you say that there's no time, you have to remember the NBA season lasts about 7.5 years. So there's time enough not only for Bronny James to develop. So many things happen in an NBA season. What I'm worried about is not, the championship expectations. I'm worried about embarrassing this kid in the sense that, say you put him in game one, he's about 6'1". It stood out to me watching him on Saturday. He is quite short. He has to be a real point guard to play at that size, and he's not. He plays two guard. So I just don't understand defensively what's going to happen. I think they don't put him out there, believe it or not. I think come game one, when they put in the reserves, Bronny James is not in there. Maybe I'm being totally naive, because I think LeBron and the Lakers front office and the coaching staff, there's going to be an instinct to protect him and hide him from this and have him on the bench.
Then why the guaranteed contract? Why
not?
Do
because
this?
They could force it, because they could force the team into it. Wouldn't you do that for your kid?
Well, maybe I would, but then I would realize that in some ways I may be hurting my team, because if you there's somebody at the end of the bench who's not going to get a lot of playing time anyway, I also can't be concerned about that person being embarrassed or not being ready for this level. That can't be my to-do list is make sure Bronny James doesn't get embarrassed. Let's hear a little from LeBron. He had a sit down yesterday, or I don't know when they did this, but a sit down with Dave McMenamin from ESPN. They're in Las Vegas. So Pete, if we could please hear cut number 5 first, please. LeBron comparing himself and Bronny, and what do they care about the outside noise?
Some of the things that people were saying about me, it kind of bothered me early on in my career. I let it get to me. Bronny doesn't give a He doesn't. Bronny plays, he works his tail off. When he's done, he goes home and plays his video game.
Great. Good. If Bronny, I hope he's not paying attention, because, he's overcome quite a bit. The health scare, that's a real thing. Right. That gives you maybe some perspective that you don't usually get, Perloff, until you're much older. And hopefully, you get to reap the reward of that perspective when you have a life-threatening injury or illness or something like that. And he's made it to the other side. So, yes, he should not care what people think. But at the same time, again, if you are going to try to make it here in the NBA, you're going to get criticized. And there's only so much your team's going to be able to hide you.
Well, I think you got to hide him because, first of all, he's 19, so he's a second-round pick. Normally, a second-round pick would have no chance of making a rotation of a playoff-level team, right? That's not even a thing in most cases. So why not keep him as sort of a symbolic little feel-good mascot guy who comes in once in a while in certain situations and throws an alley-oop to
Is this
LeBron.
college? Like, that's like the walk-on from college situation. This is the pros.
What difference does a 10th man on any NBA roster make? In all seriousness, I mean, I think they have 15 guys. I think people are a little oversensitive to how precious these spots are. It's not the NFL where every guy is used on special teams. There's no special teams in the NBA. So you look at, say, the finals. There were 8 guys sitting there on the bench who never got in the game. Why can't he be one of those guys?
Well, because that's the finals, and that's the playoffs when all the rotations tighten up a lot. We're talking about the regular season where, again, if you have a title like aspirations, don't tell me the bench doesn't matter at all.
Well, the deep bench. The
then
reality.
He should be in the G League because here's the other part. Deep
should.
bench doesn't help this dude develop.
I agree with that part about it. No, he definitely should be in the G League. And you even saw at Summer League, like he should, and I know he got hurt, so he couldn't play on Sunday, but he should be getting as many minutes as he possibly can. You are right. For the development of Bronny, it's not great. But the reality is you could stash him there. Why not? I mean, I bet you there was 5 guys at the end of the Lakers bench last year who we don't even know about.
No, that's fine. But he's got a guaranteed contract. And I don't think LeBron wants him in the G League. That's the whole thing.
No, I know.
The point of it,
that I disagree with. That's a mistake.
Well, because this is not about Bronny. And let's just call it what it is. This is about a LeBron vanity project. And
definitely.
And Bronny might get the benefit and also the criticism that goes along with this very controversial move we've never seen. But it's a LeBron thing. And I'm curious because I know there's a lot of Laker fans out there. I mean, what's the expectation here for the Lakers? Is this actually a winning thing? And LeBron's going to try to win a 5th title here with these last couple years in LA. And I don't even know if this is going to be it. He wouldn't commit in this interview that he's signed his last contract. Is it about actually winning titles, or is this about just LeBron Dad of the Year stuff? Because I'd be kind of ticked off if I were a Laker fan. As much as I may love LeBron, appreciate LeBron, understand that my franchise is all about stars, I might get all that, but it's not going to make it that much easier for me to swallow if I'm like, wow, why am I watching this team? Why am I living and breathing and dying with this team? All these free agents, not even ones you might not even want, free agents passed. JJ Redick is the head coach. You got Jeannie and Rob Pelinka. Good luck with all that. And LeBron's saying we're not that far off, are you? Because you're not making moves that seem like serious title contenders make.
I agree with everything you just said, except J.J. Redick could be good. A lot of teams probably wanted J.J. Redick. What difference is Bronny? What impact does Bronny, who went number 55, have on any of that? Well, none of that. All that is true with or without Bronny being there.
I think it shows, is there like a seriousness or an unseriousness to this, especially if Bronny is going to get in the rotation. And I'm not saying he's going to be like a rotation player, but if he's going to get some burn in these NBA games, why do you think that's happening? I mean, we just watched the Summer League. Like, he's not ready.
I don't think he's going to get burned.
LeBron is telling J.J. Redick to put him in.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think everybody comes to their senses and protects him and is not going to make Bronny look bad. The other thing, you say like that's frustrating, but you have to understand LeBron is turning 40 this year. This is reality. Teams get old. This team has gotten old. And you say they didn't sign all these phrases. It's not like they had all this cap space and there are all these moves they could have made. They were really hamstrung coming into this offseason. Of course they didn't do anything. This is just a reality of who they are as a team. None of this is because LeBron wants to be dad of the year. It's just LeBron got old. And they were kind of thin up front. They have D'Angelo Russell, who's kind of a black hole when it matters the most. They're just a flawed team in some senses. And none of that has anything to do with this LeBron James Bronny thing. I think it's symbolic. Yeah. The reality is, say they didn't take Bronny at 55. Every single thing you just said is still true. They're still thin. They're still looking up at these young powerhouses in the West. I mean, I'm sorry, the torch has been passed, like it or not.
Okay, so then let it be just a LeBron vanity project then. Let Bronny play. Let him throw alley-oops to each other, because if you don't think that they have any shot of winning, I mean, I'd be curious what Anthony Davis thinks about that, if Anthony Davis cares. But I'm
not saying they don't have any shot, but they definitely are. They're definitely in a hole. They're definitely an underdog.
Then just make it about Bronny then. And make it about LeBron and Bronny and make that about selling the tickets, about this father-son thing.
They don't need it. First of all, you have LeBron James. Your tickets are sold.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to do that because that would embarrass Bronny. Like, he's just, what I saw on Saturday, he's not quite ready to be out on an NBA court. Like, he'll get torched defensively. He kind of fell on a crossover. Like, people will hunt him. It will not be good. I think they got to keep him at the end of the bench. With all these other players, there's 21 guys who suited up for the Lakers last year. There's tons of G League 10-day contract
They're not
guys.
all the same.
I'm just
Bronny's
saying,
not the same.
But
as
you
those
could
guys.
bury him at the end of the bench. I mean, that'd be normal for a second-round pick to be on the bench and not play.
Okay, but again, then what was this all about? Because
He's 19. Give him the 3. It was LeBron it was all about getting Bronny to the NBA. That's absolutely
why
true.
couldn't that have just happened next year then? It's like it all had to happen this year for some kind of reason, right? And LeBron's not even saying he's at the end. It all had to happen now. It all has to happen now. And you don't think there's going to be like a reason for that? You don't think that LeBron's going to try to make sure that Bronny gets some playing time to try to justify all the, heaven and earth that got moved for this?
I do think there is a fear this is LeBron's last year.
Really? He just signed a 2-year deal, and he said yesterday, or whenever this interview aired, he's like, I don't know if this is my last contract.
Yeah, no, I know, but I saw him at the workouts the other day. There's a reality of, he could get hurt.
Well, that's true, but knock on wood, I don't want to see that.
He's 40, and honestly, it's going to get sad for him at a certain point, too. I think LeBron, I don't think LeBron has that many more years. I'd be surprised. If he has more than 2, I'd be shocked.
Okay, but let's take it what it is, that he's still playing at a high level. He just shot his highest three-point percentage of his entire career. He's figuring out a way to age in this game. And by the way, he plays tons of games. Like last year, what did he play, 75 games or something? He's available and he's playing well.
Yeah, but it's going to get worse. That's what happens. It's reality.
Okay,
he's
but
not
he's
going to
doing
play. He's not going
something
to be
like
74 and out there playing.
No, but he's having a Tom Brady thing where he's defying his age. So let's just let's not deal with when it falls off the cliff because we don't know when that's coming. It might not be this season.
I think it'd be naive to assume that he's going to play as well as he did last year. This year, just Brady fell off at the end. He wasn't good that last year.
Okay, but he was also 46 or whatever.
Playing quarterback.
There's
it's the
still
NFL.
time.
Yes, I don't think there's much time. I think LeBron. I think there was an urgency to get him up now. Don't you think? Like, why risk it? Why wait a whole year? Who knows what's going to happen?
855-212-4227. That's the number to call if you want to weigh in on Bronny James. I don't know how many people were watching this. Perloff, I saw you questioned what you were doing with your free time by watching Bronny James. We'll save you the Cliff Notes on this one, or we'll give you the Cliff Notes. 2 for 9. He had a lot of open looks that he couldn't hit. Again, maybe he's a little nerves. Maybe he's a little, whatever. Maybe he'll get better. But then yesterday he had to sit out because he had a swollen knee.
He didn't really have open looks because when you're short, there are no open looks.
Those were as wide open as you're going to get in the
really?
NBA.
I saw him take a 3-pointer with a guy on him. He did not have great
Well, he missed
looks.
all of his threes, but he did have some open looks from outside, and he just couldn't hit them. There wasn't a guy within 5 feet.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I missed that part because I saw a guy who's going to have a really hard time getting a shot off in the NBA because he just doesn't have the size. He looks really good defensively. I will give you that. He's got a long
I know, but you just
arm.
said he's going to get torched defensively.
Well, it's funny. He got totally crossover one time, but he can play the passing lanes. He had an amazing steal. Like, he's got a little bit of LeBron vision, but the problem is, like, what is he? Like, give me a comp. He's a defensive 2-guard who's 6'1". That's going to be really, really hard. I don't think
there's not an easy comp because this type of player generally doesn't make it to the league.
He won't be able to get off a shot on anybody, so he's going to have to move back like Steph Curry way beyond the 3-point line. That's his only prayer, is to all of a sudden become a dead-eye 40-foot shooter.
855-212-4227. Start this off with Lakers expectations. Is this more about actually winning, or is this just the LeBron-Bronny show now? Because I don't know if you can have it both ways here. 855-212-4227. We're all back from the July 4th holiday. Not EJ. EJ's still laid up. Underwent successful knee surgery the other day, so we're happy about that. On the road to recovery. Manny's in for EJ today. Pete Bellotti, not happy with us.
Yes.
I know. You're mad.
Hi.
I get it. This is not a normal Pete being mad, too, about, I don't know, some random sports thing.
Oh, what did I miss?
This is real anger. Pop culture anger.
That's right.
I see.
Entering my territory.
We've now stepped into your turf.
I'm on Team Bellotti on this one.
Thank you.
We're on your corner. We'll tell you exactly why this is all going down on this show. This is like going to threaten the show. I feel like we pick sides here. Bogish called this like live golf, like you are defecting from the show.
I'm not defecting. I'm just making my point known.
All right. We'll put a finer point on that point.
That's right.
In a moment.
More points.
We're going to circle in, zero in, red pen. Why is Bilotti running a rogue show within the show? We have all that stuff for you. We have Caitlin Clark as well. It's Maggie and Perloff. Don't move.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff. You know, we haven't even talked about get a July 4th recap from everybody. We'll do that later in the show.
60% of my body is fried clam.
Love it. Actually, can you explain a little bit, just in case everyone's like, what are you talking about?
I was at Cape Cod.
Oh, okay.
And it's like the dish there, besides lobster rolls, and we really indulge this time of vacation.
They like seafood there?
I don't normally eat a lot of fried food in my life. I try to stay off of that stuff. It was like a binge. It was like just put my whole face in the fryer.
But that feels like you've bounced back from the tuna jello casserole, because I feel like that's in the neighborhood.
Distant memory.
Good for you.
Not
You
even in the
tray of that
neighborhood.
with you?
Good for you.
Don't put that anywhere in the same zip code as what I was eating. But like, I don't know if this has happened to you guys. Were just like, everything was fried. It's like fried clams, the French fries, literally donuts, all that stuff is just thing after thing. Ice cream.
Was fried ice cream?
No, that
Oh.
wasn't
That's
fried.
really good. You guys ever had that?
I have.
Yeah.
Just lobster rolls with the mayonnaise and the butter, and just this was a vacation about eating. Some vacations aren't like that. This one was for our family.
Yeah. Actually, most of us are like that every day.
I
think-
didn't
Yeah.
want to like the sobering moment of like trying to put on a pair of pants after you've been eating like that for 5 straight days is something.
Yeah. Again, most of us are probably more like that. You're quite healthy.
Pizza felt healthy by the
Yes.
time we were done with this vacation.
But I spend most of my time, unlike you, studying summer league. Every moment.
Way to brag about it.
I was dialed in.
What's
to
divorce
see-
like?
Kids at camp.
I'm just kidding.
I'll tell
Basically,
you.
it was too damn hot to go. I don't know if you guys felt it was too damn hot to go outside at any point.
Oh,
So I'm sitting there.
gross.
I watched more damn Wimbledon than I've ever watched in my life because it was 90 degrees and soupy outside. Then I got stuck on watching Bronny James. And the thing about Summer League you forget is like, oh, wow, this is some guy who he will never hear about. The other 9 players on the court are complete anonymous nobodies. There's no reason I'm watching this. I'm just watching like these guys who are all awesome. They're all better than Bronny. Bronny was easily the 10th best player on that court. And none of them will ever make it in the NBA because it's that hard to make it in the NBA. But it did feel like it was a kind of a LeBron weekend. Like I feel like LeBron was in the air.
Definitely.
The Olympic team, and like LeBron is still running the show. Is that fair to say?
I think so. 855-212-4227. Kevin is in Oregon, has a thought on LeBron, and we're asking whether he cares about winning or whether this season is just basically a vanity project about him and Bronny. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, good morning. Well, Perloff just said it. I mean, LeBron's got control of that organization, which amazes me. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they've handed the reins over to him, and it's clear he doesn't give a damn about winning. They've come up short. There were other guys that they could have drafted in the second round that would have actually been of help. For example, N'Faly Dante from University of Oregon, most outstanding player in the Pac-12 tournament, and he played well in the NCAA tournament. He didn't even get a sniff. He didn't get drafted. But my biggest question is, Pilates upset about something? Are you kidding me?
And I know. It's shocking. Kevin, I know. It's rare. We have a whole list, actually, a whiteboard. And thank you, Kevin, about what Pete's mad about. We're going to have to wipe down this whole whiteboard that's over here to my right.
Is
It's a little off
LeBron
cam.
up there at all?
Well, we're going to wipe the slate clean.
LeBron's like a given. Or we should
Air.
have some that are etched in stone that are. LeBron, JJ Redick are obviously like
Right.
the 10 Commandments of things Pete hates.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there an opposite of the 10 Commandments? And that's like Pete's, all the things he hates instead of
10
the things.
uncommandments.
Yeah, the things instead of things you're trying to live your life by, the opposite of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, super teams. You're a fan, Pete?
And I hate him.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Put that
LeBron
up
in
there.
general.
Yeah, I feel like it's all in the LeBron umbrella. But yeah, this felt like the energy we got this weekend was similar to Pete's reaction to LeBron stories. Like,
So why Pete's particularly mad at us? I guess we can just do it now. We're not going to do the whole thing now, so let's not play the music. I'm just going to, I'll lay out just a little bit. We are embarking on exercise and futility. No, we are embarking on something that's going to be pretty controversial over the next 2 weeks or so. And we are, on this show, going to try to do the Lord's work of figuring out what was the greatest sitcom of all time. This is the kind of thing that our show is up for.
totally. This is going to be awesome.
This is something I felt like we were born to do.
Some of us were.
Pete Bellotti feels like he was definitely born to do this.
That's right.
And while Perloff, myself, and EJ basically got together to make the bracket of 64,
Yeah.
Pete is not happy about what we came up with and has started his own side bracket of all the snubs that he feels were left out of the main bracket. And just FYI, this is going to start tomorrow, where we're going to start going head-to-head, 64 teams, NCAA tournament style, greatest sitcom of all time.
Can I just say, Pete and Andrew Bogusch is here and Manny Rodriguez is here. My idea, I want it on the record. I said, why don't we just pull up like Entertainment Weekly's top 100 sitcoms of all time and use that bracket? That is always rejected when I bring up. Why didn't we go that direction? Why does our personal taste? Because I worry about our personal taste. And the interesting thing about this is you're going to get to vote. So I think the public is going to decide.
The public is going to decide.
I think always the selection committee is always controversial in any sport. And I think we're going to take a lot of heat this week, Maggie. A lot of big time heat. Like
A whole lot of heat.
Like the college football playoff committee. Like basically we left Florida State off.
Yeah. We did the equivalent of leaving Florida State off in Pete's mind. I actually thought we put a lot of our personal biases aside on this. And I thought we came up with a pretty good list. I mean, we're back to the 60s, 70s, 80s. Yeah. Everyone is represented, all different types of shows and more family stuff, more edgy stuff. Like, I thought we did a good job. No?
I think so many. I do think everybody tried to put their personal bias aside, but it's really hard to do that. I think when you're talking about something like sitcoms, people are emotionally attached. And certain producers of the show are emotionally attached to everything they liked when they were 9 years old and cannot see the world in any other way.
All
Pro
that
wrestling, Nickelodeon, Marvel.
I thought that we did a good job,
I'm
but
defending
again,
Nickelodeon.
The public's going to be the judge. And so we will reveal the number one overall seeds later on in today's program, and then we will get started on the first quadrant will be tomorrow.
Yes. But wouldn't a TV, just ideally, wouldn't a TV critic who put together a list of the top 100 sitcoms be a better judge than
EJ?
You
yes.
and EJ?
Yes. What are you going to, what, next you're going to let, you're going to let Skip Bayless do all the sports takes? Like, no, we're just as much experts as they are because we were the ones consuming the shows.
But I don't know.
But we weren't consuming half of these.
Well, some of them I never saw, but
some of them are very old,
it.
right? Andy Griffith was the 50s.
I will say this.
Not a number one seed.
If I am allowed to today, I would like to reveal my two number ones in the bit.
Okay, so we will reveal our top number one seeds, and then you will reveal your two number one seeds?
Yes,
okay.
and then let the outrage begin.
Yeah, because and I don't like being on Pete's side and things, because usually it's a terrible side, but...
You're right.
Wow.
But I mean, you guys created this selection committee and left off the most accomplished person in the group that should be on the selection committee. And this is
Kaplan.
And I've not seen the full 64, but I've seen Pete's objections, and I'm confused as how most of Pete's objections are not in your field of 64. I don't know how you left out some of the things you guys left out.
Okay, but it's like the All-Star game. If you're going to put one on, you got to take one off.
But I know what's in and what some of the things that are in shouldn't be in.
That's for the public to decide.
No, that's science.
Science.
Science. I don't want to name names. I don't want to pre-reveal things, but there's one in particular that has no business being in your field of 64.
Wow.
And that is...
I'm dying to know what that is.
And that
but don't tell us.
No, and that's firmly on EJ's shoulders.
Oh, okay. Want to blame EJ? So,
I was told it was EJ's call, so who else would I blame?
I mean, the dude's 10 Percocets deep. I mean, he's feeling
That might
no
be the
pain
problem.
right now.
Do you guys pee in a cup before the selection committee?
We did not say whether we were enhanced.
It is a challenge, though, because the reality is, like, nobody's seen, like, sitcoms started in 1957 or something. Nobody's seen 60 years of sitcoms. Like, no
Pete
one really
has.
I think Pete
maybe,
has.
maybe what's that show?
Yes.
TV Land at Night. So I do think the TV Land at Night crowd might come after us. You never know. Like there's going to be
Well, they're not on
serious
Twitter.
objections.
They're too old for the internet.
We got a phone number.
Calling it.
855-212.
Rotary.
4227, yeah. Find a phone booth and give us a call. So we will reveal the number one overall seeds later on in the show. Pete will also have his alternative. I said Bogus is like the Live Golf Tour. So now Pete is the Bryson DeChambeau now. He's having like this resurgence.
It's called
the People's Champ.
It's called the BIT, the Bilotti Invitational Tournament.
Oh, I love
It's
it.
going to be held in Dayton, by the way.
By the way, one more funny thing about this bracket. What's a sitcom? Sounds like a simple question. Oh, no. What is a sitcom? Are animated show sitcoms or half-hour show
It is
sitcoms?
not.
Are they on a night? All these things come on. Serious questions about the format.
I have an Emmy-winning actor and producer who I went to just because we're having such a heated conversation about what is a sitcom. And they wrote me back basically the Dead Sea Scrolls of a response on text, and I'm still not any closer to the answer. We'll get to that later because this person's show was snubbed.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them that.
But was it a sitcom?
I got 3,000 words. Also a little New York baseball commentary. 855-212-4227. All right, we'll do all that. Bogus is here with updates. Hello.
Good morning. Headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with Life Electronic Device and Pete Health Insurance. We currently have 67 MLB All-Stars, 3 more than needed because Fernando Tatis Jr., Mookie Betts, and Zach Wheeler have already been ruled out of the game next week in Texas for various reasons. The Orioles have the most wins in the AL this morning, the third best win percentage in all of baseball, but only have 3 of those 67 All-Stars. So manager Brandon Hyde is a little PO'd.
I was disappointed. I thought that we had guys that when you win as many games as we have in the last year and a half, and you only get 3 guys in, and you're on the pace we are right now, and we won 101 games last year with a lot of the same group, you think that we get more guys in, and so I'm disappointed in that.
Their all-stars are shortstop Gunnar Henderson, catcher Adley Rutschman, and pitcher Corbin Burns. Third baseman Jordan Westberg is probably Baltimore's biggest snub. The Guardians instead lead the AL with 5 reps with closer Emmanuel Clase, DH David Fry, and first baseman Josh Naylor picked as reserves, and pitchers yesterday joining starters Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan.
Which team has the most All-Stars?
Doesn't matter. Sunday Night Baseball had the Yankees
the
and the
manager?
Red Sox scoreless through 6 in the Bronx.
Here's a 2-2 pitch, and he swings it. It's a high fly ball, left field, pretty well. Back to the warning track. Verdugo by the fence, and this ball is gone. Wow. It kept carrying and goes out. 1-0 Red Sox.
Joe Castiglione, Red Sox radio. Rafi Devers, that first home run. He had another one in the 9th inning. It fueled a 3-0 Boston win. Devers now has 16 long balls at Yankee Stadium, 28 total for his career against the Bombers, who have now dropped 15 of their last 20
What
games.
a shame.
Keep pitching to him. That's a great idea, guys.
Well, I don't know if they were going to intentionally walk him in with no one on in a scoreless game, no one on. But here's the thing: it's like you got your pitchers here like gassed. You know, this is the end of the outing with Garrett Cole, and then last night with Heel. Like, go to the pen. I don't know. That's a little Monday morning quarterback. But
I'm just very disappointed in the Yankees. They have been playing like absolute dog water over the last 4 weeks now. They need to get it together. But I digress. Keep going, Bogues.
I'm not disappointed.
I'm a Yankee fan now. Do you know where Ben Rice, their new rookie star, went to college?
Dartmouth.
Oh,
Dartmouth,
lovely.
like myself, another Dartmouth man hitting home runs in a game. There you go.
The only.
Yeah.
Another.
But no, there's a handful of Dartmouth grads in MLB. Actually, the Ivy League you don't need any athleticism to play Major League Baseball, so you can come from the Ivy League.
Well, the great thing about people who go to Ivy League schools is they never tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
Well, you wouldn't know. They play, who knows?
Wow.
We're never going to hear this again.
Right. I think
The
Barry
guy's
Bonds with a
smart.
pen.
How many GW players are in any professional sport, Maggie?
0.
Yakadare?
Yeah.
Dartmouth has produced 29 big leaguers, according to Baseball
There we
Almanac.
go.
And how many were in the 1880s?
No, I'm telling you.
Also, Jonquil Jones, by the way, is
Brad
our,
Alsmith?
is our
Yes.
number 1 athlete right now.
Brad
GW.
Alsmith? You ever heard of him?
Brett Allsmith?
Osmus?
Sasquatch?
Have you ever heard of him? Have you?
Wait,
Also, how did the
Future
Phillies
manager
get
of the Yankees.
7 players into the All-Star game?
best team in baseball.
Oh, my
How the
gosh.
two random dudes out of the bullpen got it, I don't know.
The players voted them in.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
that how it works?
Yep.
They were drunk.
EJ did that too.
That's right.
Not high on Percocets. I asked EJ,
Give me
I was
Matt Strom.
like, just like we're doing
Percocets
our
and Victory Brewing.
we're doing our show our show meeting last night. I'm like, man, he's like, I'm feeling great. This is the best I've felt. I'm like, this is great. I'm so glad you're feeling better. Did they give you anything for the pain? He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. He was high as a kite on that call. That was super fun.
It was great.
Kevin Durant has yet to practice with Team USA in Vegas with a sore calf. He is in some doubt for their first exhibition game. That's Wednesday night against Canada, but his status for the Olympics is not worrisome just yet.
When do they end the Olympics?
Haven't started yet. Angel Reese with her WNBA record 13th double-double in a row yesterday, breaking her tie with Candace Parker. 17 points, 14 boards for Reese, but her Sky lost in Seattle 84-71. And Alex Bowman won a rain-shortened NASCAR street race in Chicago, clinching his spot in their postseason. So it was time to party.
We're going to drink so much damn bourbon tonight. It's going to be a bad deal. I'm probably going to wake up naked on the bathroom floor again.
Again.
Oh,
Yes.
Again.
Now that is a sport. I can back this.
What happened the first time? Like, what led to it? Also a win?
I mean, is it only one other time? Is this time 2 or time 3? Does this happen often? I can't
Do we
answer.
do a top 5 list? Top 5 times I woke up naked on the bathroom floor? Yesterday, the day before,
That's a sitcom.
4 days ago, 30th birthday, 21st birthday. There you go.
A win in Talladega.
Random Thursday.
All those have to be positive, right? You know, like, oh, my girlfriend
Wake up,
broke up with me.
Oh, my God.
Not from I'm in celebratory.
No. It's called your 20s. That's what, or 8.
Bathroom floor.
Oh, man, we've all been there.
Gotta
No?
do it, though.
I haven't.
Never woke up on the bathroom floor?
No.
You haven't lived, Bogues.
That's fine.
Ever woke up in the tub?
In the tub?
No water. Hopefully,
what?
someone wasn't trying to kill you.
That's a little scary. You don't want to
Yeah,
pass
don't
out
do
at work.
that.
Hope you wake up from the.
Yeah. No, that's the one place
You never slept
drown?
in the tub? Yeah.
PSA, if you're super hammered, don't draw a bath.
Don't get in the tub. Don't get in the hot tub.
Yeah, don't light any candles either.
Yeah, don't go for a swim.
Remember this if you're tanked.
Yeah.
You don't need a tub.
But you never slept in an empty tub?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would
You guys
anyone-
have not slept in an empty tub?
Yes.
Of course you have.
Wait, why would you sleep in an empty tub? I'm a little confused here. Why'd you get into the empty tub in the
tornado
first place?
It's adjacent to the bathroom floor. It's like I'm on the bathroom floor, but I need somewhere to go.
But how do you
Boundaries.
I need,
If you
someone
have
else
the
might have to
energy-
use the bathroom.
If you had to climb, if you have the energy to climb into the tub, don't you have the energy to leave the bathroom?
Yeah, but I don't want to be anywhere near my bed sheets and stuff because
Oh,
if I'm
just-
still
oh, got it,
if I'm
got
still
it.
puking, then
Got
I
it.
need to be near
Got it.
tile.
Totally forgot
Sleeping
about
in the
the throw up.
bathtub is the solution.
Yeah.
The God, now I understand. Yep.
You've
That
never
makes
been
sense.
inebriated to the point where you think the bathtub looks comfortable?
Yeah. How'd you end up in there?
It was last
comfortable.
Saturday. It's 2 nights ago, Cape Cod.
Usually nice when someone throws you a pillow.
I've gotten food poisoning where I ended up in a tub.
I mean, that's part of it too.
Awful. Right around the corner, by the way.
Oh, in a hotel around here?
Yes, during a snowstorm.
Oh, yeah. And
How'd
then
you
we,
get food poisoning?
From one of the restaurants around here.
Oh, God.
It's no longer around.
Thank God.
I wonder why.
With
food
Pete's
poison-
Yelp review.
This is not even a contra. Food poisoning is the worst.
The worst.
Every
worst.
hour.
The worst. Can't even take a sip of
Patty, like,
Gatorade or anything.
There's
Just
certain things
right
I
back
will
up.
never eat again.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this chicken salad they sell at Trader Joe's, to be very specific.
The one with the
wine country.
Yep. Oh, you got sick off that?
I think I got sick off that. I love Trader Joe's, so I don't want to say anything ill about them. But I can't even look at it. I can't eat it.
Mine was a sushi in New York City, and I knew it from the moment I ate it, and then I ate another piece.
What?
And I was out for 24 hours. Just the worst. You never forget it.
Hey, you're the human clock. Every hour, you know it's another hour when something else happens.
Oh, it's the worst.
The PS of Pete story is that a former colleague refused to drive him home to Long Island because he was afraid of Pete making a mess in his car. So Pete was stuck in the hotel room.
And meanwhile, shivering on a train on the way home.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
They tell you if you're sick, don't get on the train.
I was going to stay in New York City the whole weekend.
Marash wouldn't drive you home?
It wasn't Sean.
I was going to say, that doesn't feel like a Marash move. He'd do it.
I mean, he would have said no, too, but it was not him.
I don't think so. I think Marash would have
They
done
would have
it.
put a camera on me.
He would not have put the Pete with the possibility of throwing up or anything else coming out of his body in his car.
Marash pooped in the producer.
It's his poop.
Oh.
And that's every day, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Pete power
systems in
vomiting on the
place.
LIE would not be good. Out the window. Wow.
Window?
And we wouldn't be moving. So
Well, I hope he would open the window if he's going to throw up.
They open? I never knew that. You can open those windows? Thought it was like a
No, he said LIE.
submarine.
No, he said LIE in a car.
Oh,
on the train?
Yeah,
Oh.
I thought it was
No,
submarine.
I hope you have a bathroom like a disgusting. Oh God, how did we get
Good
on this
morning,
awful
everybody.
tangent?
Maggie asking us if we sleep in tubs.
Yeah.
That's how we got here.
It's actually the
Please say you slept
NASCAR
in the tub,
driver
too.
said he's going to wake up naked on the bathroom floor.
Yeah,
EJ's
it's
fault.
that guy's fault. Which NASCAR driver was that?
Alex Bowman.
Okay.
The new mascot of this show.
And third baseman of the Phillies.
Close. 855-212-4227. Thank you so much, Bogish. We've got so much more to do, including a surprise injury to the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. What? Get details for you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
That's your Cowboy Quickie music. Welcome back to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. This one came out of nowhere. It was a photo on social media of Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, Pearl, in Cabo with a walking boot on his right foot. Now, since then, Dak has put out a photo of him without the boot on. So clearly it's nothing serious, but there's still a mystery around how this foot injury may have happened. The Cowboys were last in camp June 8th or something like that, and there was never a sign of a foot injury, no signs of any kind of surgeries or anything like that. So this sort of mysterious foot injury sort of popped up, and he got training camp coming up in a couple weeks.
Well, the funny thing about this headline, you might have seen Dak Prescott no longer in walking boot, and everyone's like, wait, Dak Prescott was in a walking boot? So, Dak, it was probably smart of him to put this photo out. Remember, he had that huge right leg injury that ruined 2020. And as someone who's still suffering from old ankle injuries, for old basketball injuries, that they last, it makes you realize like Dak Prescott at some point is going to cash in. Man, he has an injury history, and he's getting a little older. It did strike fear in me a little bit.
But where did this one come from? He just finished a season, maybe one of his best ever as a pro. Why the walking boot now?
Because when you have those massive injuries to the lower part of your leg, like they come back. There's scar tissue in there. I think it could just be soreness. I tell you, my left ankle, which I will put up on camera right now.
Oh, lucky us.
Yeah.
Okay, Perloff's leg's coming up. Yep.
See this?
I do see it.
Brace? That is from an ankle injury that happened, I don't even know when.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I see your other leg? Do you have a lot of bug bites or something? What happened to you?
What do you mean?
Right there.
Oh.
Is that just wear and tear? Looks like you got bit by like 4 different mosquitoes.
That is actually bicycles.
Ah, gotcha.
I think I cut myself on bike.
Okay.
Because my daughter and I have been biking a lot this summer.
Okay, wait. Back to Dak, though.
Yeah.
So
I just think it's an old injury and scar tissue builds up, and it's really easy to just be walking down the street and you tweak something and, oh, my foot is sore. I really think that. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm friends with a very good foot doctor. I'll ask him later today.
Please do.
But I just think that you do not need a lot to set off. It didn't have to be like a traumatic event.
That's your Cowboy Quickie. And that's fine, and it doesn't double nay for that one. It doesn't seem like it was catastrophic, but at the same point, you just came off of this great season for Dak Prescott, and you just came off of all the mandatory and voluntary off-season work. So we've seen this guy. He's not had any kind of boot on. I mean, you really think he was walking down the street one day and was just like, ow, my ankle or my foot, and then had to go in the boot?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
this
not good.
This guy's leg has been through a lot of trauma. I think soreness and scar tissue can lead to minor injuries and minor discomfort. Okay, listen, I sound like a doctor. Like, I know what I'm talking about. No, I don't know. But I don't think it was like something like he banged his foot against the bed or something. I mean, what possible injury? I don't think he was working out and twisted it. I'll bet you it's an old injury just aggravated.
Well, that's always the fear, right? It's either a workout you were doing, it's a pickup basketball game you were playing in, it was, playing with your kid, whatever it was. But we haven't heard anything like that.
I don't think it has to be something like that. Maybe there's more to the story. The fact that he's walking around now indicates that it's definitely minor. Like if he had hurt himself playing pickup basketball,
I'm just
was
saying.
in a walking boot, that could be more serious. But does all this give you pause about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott? So with the way after Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love, these guys got paid, they're going to have to give that dude $60 million a year. And look at this offseason. He had some legal questions that all got resolved. He has a walking boot. I mean, are we getting closer to Dak not being a Cowboy? Are they nervous? Like, well, you know what? Let's go into the year and see what happens.
Definitely. I think that's what they're doing. And you look at this offseason on balance for Dallas, and I just don't see how anyone thinks this has been a good offseason for them because, you don't have anything resolved at this point with CeeDee Lamb, although maybe that will happen. You don't have anything resolved with Micah Parsons. You don't have anything resolved with Dak Prescott. Maybe you are just going into the season, so you have lame duck quarterback then, and you've also got lame duck coach because nothing happened with Mike McCarthy. You do have a new defensive coordinator, so maybe that's an upgrade, although Dan Quinn was good, but, obviously they got torched in that game against the Packers, and a lot of people pointed to the defense. You asked all in. You got no great free agents to speak of. I guess the draft was fine, but we'll find out about that. I mean, that's all on paper as of right now.
I mean, listen, you lost a Hall of Fame left tackle, which I think was time. All these things, though, when you actually step back, maybe these are the best things for the franchise. Maybe they're taking their medicine now. Because remember that day after they lost to Green Bay?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans called the show and be like, I'm done with Dak.
Yep.
I can't do this anymore. And certainly the same with Mike McCarthy. If they're going to just have a 12-5 season and go out in the first round, maybe it's time for a change. And you can't just change. If they sign up Dak to some long-term deal, then there's no change coming. Then you're stuck with this. So maybe they are actually being smart.
I just don't. My one thing about it, I get if you want to move on, but you have not shown that you've got a plan. And maybe that plan just materializes and maybe they back into somebody and they get lucky, but that's not the plan.
Well, the key part of that plan is to get Dak Prescott off the books because there's no future. If you extended Dak this offseason, then it's Dak.
Right.
So I just think that the plan is, hey, let's free up some cap space. And maybe we'll have a draft pick like that. You need to do that first. What possible real succession plan is there if you don't have any money?
I mean, I'm just looking at other contenders in the NFC, and I'm thinking about their off seasons and sort of how we feel about those teams sitting here on July 8th versus how we feel about the Cowboys. You have the 49ers who are coming off of a heartbreaking, yes, but loss in the Super Bowl. I mean, They made it all the way there and got to overtime. We can talk about the 49ers. How do you feel about the Detroit Lions? Definitely on the upswing. Yeah. How do you feel about the Green Bay Packers? Definitely on the upswing. How do you feel about your Philadelphia Eagles? I would say
made a lot of moves in the offseason.
More on the upswing than the Cowboys are.
Yep.
I mean, I almost even feel good about the Rams. I don't know. I mean, I just would go to
that one. I'm a little nervous about.
Chicago Bears now have the top overall pick, maybe a generational talent, Caleb Williams. I'm just going through other NFC teams that I'm thinking, I don't know if they're necessarily going to have a greatest season in terms of win-losses as the Cowboys, because the Cowboys always seem to hit their mark. But I don't see the buzz here around this team. And now Dak in a walking boot, and he's out of it now. But why was he in it to begin with is a mystery.
But you're talking short term. There is, at a certain point, Dallas has to make a decision. Like, what are we? Are we 12-5 and out in the first round for eternity? They're in a bit of limbo here. So maybe this is the tough medicine they have to take.
Okay, but even with that, and I can get there with you, signing CeeDee Lamb is still a no-brainer.
Well,
Micah Parsons is still a no-brainer. You're not moving on from those guys.
Definitely. Parsons is an ultimate no-brainer. He's the difference maker. CeeDee Lamb is 1B. So you pay them, but to a certain point, like, yeah, maybe you need to start over a quarterback because Dak's going to be the most expensive quarterback in the NFL. Do you feel good? Would you feel good about 5 more years of Dak at $62 million a year? Would you celebrate that move?
I don't know if I'd feel good about it, but you got to tell me who's going to be playing quarterback for this team next year.
I have some plans that I'm formulating.
You've got a plan.
Yes.
It can't be Kirk Cousins.
Maybe all my plans will not make you happy.
Wait a minute. I want to know the plans.
I have very specific plans, and I'm going to need a lot of help. But the Cowboys do have some options.
Do I get to hear the plans?
You do, but you're going to have to wait.
Through the commercial break?
Yes, and I'm not telling you even off break. You can beg me, and I'm not telling you.
All right. Well, we're all going to find out Perloff's plan for the Dallas Cowboys quarterback coming up next. 855-212-4227. We've got that. We also have a big weekend from Caitlin Clark. We do it all next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
History made in the WNBA yet again. Hey, welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, Caitlin Clark, of course. Who else? Caitlin, Angel Reese also having this incredible rookie year. But Perloff, we pause on Caitlin Clark because she did something that no player and no rookie, in WNBA history has ever done, and that was record a triple-double. It was before the weekend. And she's now got that in the record book. She's also the first member ever of her team, the Indiana Fever, to ever record a triple-double as well. So here's a simple question that maybe doesn't have a simple answer. We're approaching here the All-Star break for the WNBA. That's going to happen on July 20th, so we're kind of zeroing in on that. Do you think Caitlin Clark has lived up to the hype so far?
Wow. I'm going to say yes. But I'm still just a smidge disappointed.
Explain yourself.
So she obviously is, I think I screwed up my expectations. I thought she would dominate as a scorer like she did at Iowa, and it's just different. As she said she was going to be, Maggie, she told us, I'm going to be a different player. I'm going to be a pass-first point guard.
And you laughed?
I laughed. Well, she is firing up a lot of shots. They're just not going in. So she's shooting 39% from the field and low 30s from three. That's not great. And I watched her this weekend. She's just not the same offensive player she was at Iowa. There's just not the space. The defenders are bigger. So in my mind, I was naive, and I thought it was going to be just as easy. Now, what she is she's a very good NBA player. She's very effective. She's team first. She's doing a lot of great things. So in that sense, she's not a disappointment. But I was one of those people who thought there'd be more instant stardom like Iowa, and it's different than that.
No, I think it's fair. I would say not exactly, but we are seeing history made, and you can tell she's getting better like almost every week, month, whatever it is, right? So you can see the improvement.
Yes.
So I think if we ask this question right now, the answer is probably no. But if we ask it at the end of the season, it might be yes, because you are making a great point. She'll usually come out of the gate and hit a couple threes, and then the defense will adjust. And we are not seeing the deep threes as much as I thought we were going to at Iowa. And you're right. Maybe we were naive about that. The WNBA defenders are way better than the average college defender that she was seeing. And so it's a little harder to get the shot off. But how she's sort of compensated for that has just been the passing. And I know the turnovers are there, and I get that, but not all of those are on her, first of all. And secondly, like you saw what they did against the New York Liberty, a team that had dusted them through the first couple meetings in this regular season, and they end up trailing by double figures in the fourth quarter. And Caitlin, it wasn't her scoring. She only scored 6 points in the second half. It was about her passing. It was really the biggest part of that triple-double was not the points or the rebounds. And by the way, she's like sixth for guards in rebounds. It's about the passing. She really has this incredible court vision. I mean, for that, she is not, I think she has lived up to the hype, but it's not the logo threes and stuff we thought it was going to be.
But I'm going to give you a reality, though. If she's going to be this passing machine, she's never going to get open because the ball's not really moving. It's in her hands all the time.
Yep.
So that's what's different. Iowa looked like the Golden State Warriors. The ball was flying all over the place, and she was getting open looks. Like the way it's a lot of sort of Caitlin Clark is dribbling a lot more. Her usage numbers are probably gigantic. It's always in her hands, so you don't really have to worry about her as much. You know where the ball is. I think I'd like to see them change the offense. Like I don't want to see Caitlin getting 8 assists a game. That means the ball is always in her hands. She's always dribbling. So the defense I would almost take her off the ball more if I was running the team and get her more open from three. She's never going to be able to be this. She's turned into like a pure point guard.
Yep.
She's never going to get open from three the way she used to. Iowa was more of a ball movement team, so there is something a little bit off there. And the turnovers are her fault. She's trying crazy highlight stuff every game. I mean, she thinks she's Larry Bird, and sometimes the players are catch up. But I've also seen many passes where she thinks she has a lane and she throws it, and the defender just gets it.
That is true. She does attempt a lot of high degree of difficulty stuff, but not all of them are on her.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy watching it. I think she has met the hype, but I do think that we have to get used to a different Caitlin. I'm not sure, for example, is she ever going to be the leading scorer in the WNBA? I would have thought for sure. It was number one overall pick, biggest college star we ever saw, set every college scoring record there was.
Yep.
I don't know if we're ever going to get that. I'm not sure she's going to ever be Pete Maravich in the NBA like she was in college.
Yeah, I think maybe for now there's still just more of a size advantage, for certain players, right? And again, you're seeing a lot more 3-point shooting. Obviously, this started, long before Caitlin got there, but it's still a lot of inside game, right? And
the inside players score a lot in
exactly.
WNBA. It seems a little different than the college game, which seemed more perimeter oriented.
Maybe, but and the fact that Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston have really started to come together, I think is a great sign. Now, we're asking you, has Caitlin Clark lived up to the hype so far? As we're kind of checking in about the midway, a little bit less than the midway point through the season. You got the All-Star game is going to be coming up in July 20th. So then you now have this Rookie of the Year race, which is really heated up because Angel Reese is breaking records in terms of double-doubles. And you had two very prominent voices of Monica McNutt and Carolyn Peck both coming out to say they think Angel Reese should be the front runner right now for Rookie of the Year, not Caitlin Clark. Angel's been great. You guys know, I think Angel is a huge part of this story, and she has shown that she can more than hold her own in the WNBA, and she's going to have obviously, it's going to be a great career. I don't know if I can hand it to her right now. I think the double-doubles have been incredible. I think Caitlin would still be my first choice for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I agree. It's really close. They're both filling up the stat sheet. It is really hard. It seems like almost a coin toss right now because I can't believe how Angel Reese fell to 7 in the draft, and she's already the best rebounder in the WNBA.
I know.
That's remarkable. So I think it's a little, in my mind, just a little closer than maybe you think. I think it's really a coin toss right now because Angel Reese is doing something completely unique.
Yeah.
I can't believe
she's making history too.
And I don't
like
even
Caitlin.
totally understand how she's doing this too, but she is entering a new level of competition. She seems almost better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give her a lot of credit. We're about halfway through, right? To me, that's because neither team's going to win a WNBA title. That's obvious. They both have losing records. They might make the playoffs, but they're not contenders. I kind of like what you're saying. Like, this is the race to watch, and this is one of the more fun focal points here. I have a feeling Angel could catch her. I really do. I mean, this is crazy that can't anyone box her out? I watch her. She reminds me a little bit of Charles Barkley. Like, she's not above anyone. She just knows where to go. She has a nose for the ball, and man, she's playing well.
Manny, you have access to the Twitter handle? Great. At Maggie and Pearl on X, I should say. Has Caitlin Clark lived up to the hype so far? Yes, no. Would love to hear from you. Also, is she the Rookie of the Year at this moment, or would it be Angel Reese, who is just I'm telling you, the rivalry is such a huge part of this story, such a huge part of the story. And Caitlin has brought the eyeballs, but I think that Angel also acclimating herself so well to the WNBA, this just makes it just so much better.
My only problem with the rivalry is they're such different players. They're never going to guard each other. Does that matter? I don't know if actually Bird and Magic have really ever matched up that much, and they're the ultimate two players that were paired together. But it just feels like Angel Reese is an inside player and Caitlin Clark's an outside player. That's my only issue with this quote unquote all-time rivalry.
Did you guys see what they're doing for the All-Star game for the WNBA?
Is it in the Sphere?
I don't know about that.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. What are they doing?
Everything in the Sphere is
yeah. The NHL draft apparently was amazing. But no, what are they doing?
So I saw that they're doing the WNBA All-Stars versus the national team.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that.
That is such a good idea. I love that.
Well, except that so there's a lot of, basically the national team are also all-stars.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So you're really getting the B team is the all-star team.
Or it's like the veterans versus the youngers. Like, I thought that was a really smart way to do this.
Yeah, but I don't understand because isn't everyone on the national team an all-star level player?
Yeah, they are. But
So you're not. So basically, you're really getting the JV as the other team. Like the national team should win, right?
I'm thinking it's the chip on the shoulder team versus the veteran. You know,
It's like the futures team versus the
Yes.
current team.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Really? I don't know.
You don't like it?
I just feel like it seems confusing to me because does that mean that the junior team deserves to be there, or like how many all stars are there? There's
I don't know.
24,
I don't know.
Say there's 24. Are we getting the top 24 players?
I think yes.
So like Caitlin will be there, right?
Yeah. They're all going to be there. It's just how they're divvying up the team. Like everyone is worthy of being an all-star. It's just how did they decide to break up into two teams and not East, West, or whatever. They don't really do that because it's not the league's not like that. It's just all one ledger.
Oh, but no. I think there are people on the national team who might not have made the All-Star game otherwise, right?
I would imagine if you're making the national team, you're an all-star.
Okay.
I would hope. That's supposed to be the 12 best.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Let's go to Kevin. He's in San Antonio. Has a thought on Caitlin Clark. Has she lived up to the hype so far, Kevin?
Yeah. Good morning, people. I was out for a while, but I think she is. But she's a star. It's not the college game and the WNBA is different. And the thing about that is she's gonna come along in the WNBA and she gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, she's already setting records, making history. It's just funny, Kevin. It's just not the way that we thought. It's not the logo three. She doesn't look like Steph Curry out there. It's the passing. It's the rebounding in some ways. It's different.
Right. Well, she gonna prove on her passing. Every game. This is her first season. She's a rookie and so forth. So it's gonna take time. And everybody expected. Or she gonna be out the gates like Michael Jordan or something like that. It's just everybody got a different level of growth.
Kevin, the real question is when Perloff drives to San Antonio to apologize to Victor Wembanyama, what's the first breakfast burrito place you're going to take him to?
That's a good question. There's many places. I'll take him to Las Palapas.
Got that? Write that down.
Las Palapas sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's a good restaurant. They got some good food. I ain't ate there in a long time, but that food is good.
What's the breakfast burrito? Just give it to us. It's what's on it, or is it breakfast taco?
A breakfast taco, they have eggs, sausage, bacon.
All good.
All good. All of the whole nine.
Love it. Kevin, bookmark it. Thank you so much for the phone call.
I'm in.
I mean, this is part of the reason why you wanted to go. You lost a bet.
That's the only reason I wanted to go. I was the only reason I even brought it up, so it's like I could eat breakfast tacos.
Well, you lost a bet, so you're being forced to drive yourself to San Antonio.
Am I? Am I being forced?
Well, yeah, can't force the willing.
Yeah, there's really no punishment here with this. He wants to go away.
I know, but he's got to drive all the way from New York to San Antonio.
But it's fun for him. It's a road trip. It's going to see the sights. It's going to see the biggest ball yarn. That type of thing.
I know. Yeah, but see, Maggie didn't understand because she hates driving long distances. I love driving long distances.
I'll tell you what, just coming back from a vacation, just the soul-sucking traffic anytime you're leaving somewhere. Well, I swear our GPS was like diverting us into traffic jams.
Yeah, I want to drive places where there is no traffic. That's the key. Like I'm going to be in off hours. Show starts 6 a.m. Eastern. So I figure I'll be driving all night and pulling an all-nighter and getting on air at an affiliate.
That's what you're planning on doing?
I don't know.
It's a terrible idea.
I don't know how I'm going to sleep on this trip because I have so many things I want to see and do.
No. You can't be up all night driving, man. You're never gonna make it. And the show's gonna suffer.
You should do the show while driving. That's the show, right?
Can you plug a Comrex into a cigarette lighter? He'll be on AX3 somewhere near Yuma.
I've been playing with the map a lot, Maggie. There are going to be some trips that are going to have to be overnight. It's the only way it's going to happen.
Dude, how are you going to do this?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound safe.
I'm going to leave it all on the table. I'm a warrior. I'm going to basically go from one ball of yarn to the next tourist site.
So you're going to basically be pulling into like our Indianapolis affiliate on no sleep.
Yes, that's the plan.
This is going to be a disaster.
Whenever you wake up in the middle of the night anyway, where do you sleep?
Well, but I'm not driving all night.
But here's the thing: I'm going to be away from parent duty. I'm not. It's all going to be about. It's all going to be Andrew Perloff. I have one person to take care of on the road. That's me.
Okay, but he's putting down these breakfast tacos. That's heavy fare, man.
Well, I mean, we started the show by talking about passing out on the bathroom floor. Yes.
From bourbon, don't do that.
I got to tell you. Monday's going to be rough after this trip. And I think the breakfast tacos are going to be the worst part.
It's going to be like an anchor. 855-212-4227. All right, we said it last hour. Meanwhile, while the Cowboys are trying to figure out what's going on with Dak Prescott's foot that was in a boot, then out of a boot, no one knows what's going on. Perloff has been secretly behind the scenes solving the quarterback issues for the Cowboys. Are you getting paid overtime for this?
Nothing to worry about. Move over, Steven. Move over, Jerry. I got you, Cowboys.
All right. Perloff has his top two, top three.
I have a couple what I call big swings for the Cowboys.
All right. We'll tell you what those swings are next. It's Maggie and Perloff. Again, 855-212-4227. If you want to watch the show, it's a great idea. YouTube.com/Infinity Sportsnet, Twitch.tv/Infinity Sports Network. We have a podcast, by the way. It's great. You can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. If you could give us a 5-star review, we'd be so grateful. These small things really do add up, and they do matter. Again, 855-212-4227. We're back in a minute.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining.
Dr. Perloff, he's got an ankle that's tricky. Milky white, it hurts, sometimes it's quite picky. Bug bites here and there, make it itch and twitch. Got him looking like he's doing a funny little hitch. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. His ankle's like a magnet for every bug in town. Mosquitoes have a party, won't leave him alone now. Red and bumpy, itching all night long. Andrew's ankle's got a bitey little song. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance.
All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Is this a sitcom theme, right?
This is Huey Lewis. It's Hip to Be Square.
Feels like a sitcom theme. An 80s pop song is basically a sitcom theme. We'll get into the sitcoms in a little bit. We have our sitcom bracket coming up this summer. It's going to be really exciting, really controversial.
Starts tomorrow. You said this summer. Starts tomorrow.
Right, the winner, the eventual winner will be decided later this
true.
summer. That's how brackets work, I guess. So, real quick, before we get into that, I'm going to answer your question, Maggie. What are the Cowboys going to do after Dak Prescott? Because you're slightly concerned that there is no clear succession plan.
Not slightly concerned. I don't see one unless we think Trey Lance is going to come out of nowhere.
That's one option.
That's a long shot at this point.
There's the mid-level free agents, your Sam Darnold types, Derek Carr types. Derek Carr might not be bad. The Jets wanted Derek Carr. I'll give you a couple big names.
Keep doing what the Jets want to do.
Couple big names. You said Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Atlanta screwed over Kirk Cousins by drafting Michael Penix, number 8 overall. So, Cousins could be available. Only costs him $28 million next year. So, that's about 1/3 the cost of Dak. No, actually, a little less than one half. So, get cheaper with Kirk, pay everyone around you. And you say Kirk is the same thing as Dak Prescott, but we've never seen Kirk with like a dominant team around him. So, maybe that's an upgrade, believe it or not. Because
Did the Vikings have the top seed 2 years ago, and they lost to the Giants?
Yeah, they weren't a good team that year. I mean, they Pro Football Focus, it was Football Outsiders said they should have been 7-10. They've never really had. They had a dominant defense actually when my buddy Case Keenum was there. Then the defense slowly fell off underneath Kevin O'Connell. So he's never been around a really, really great team. That team was not great. Can you even name the players on that team?
No, but I mean, they did have a number 1 seed. It ended up being a devastating. I believe it was the number 1 seed, right? Because weren't the Giants the 7th seed?
No, I don't. Yeah, they played in the first round, didn't they? So the number 1 seed gets a bye.
Maybe they were the 2 seed.
I think the Eagles might have been.
Maybe you're right about that. Maybe it was a 2 seed. Whatever. They were a top seed.
But they
weren't
they definitely were not a dominant team. Like if Micah Parsons and that defense was awesome, maybe Kirk Cousins gives them something different. But the thing is, he's so much cheaper than Dak. That's the key.
Okay,
so you can build around in different ways. Where with Dak, you're stuck. Your cap is gone.
Okay, but here's the thing. Kirk Cousins always finds a way to make a lot of money. And I don't know if they would have to give him some kind of contract extension or something like that. You're assuming he's going to be cheap, but if Kirk plays well,
he's on a 4-year, $180 deal. They have a lot of control. I know how it works. Like if the player's unhappy, he can exert control. The other one, how about Aaron Rodgers? Now, I have some Jets fans around me, and I'm sure I could sell to Pete Pilati getting rid of Aaron Rodgers next offseason. That would not bother you in any way, would it?
I'm not there yet like others.
He hasn't done anything yet.
Right. I like to see him try to do something first, and then maybe I'll get rid of him.
I just feel like Aaron Rodgers could go south here and in tremendous in a dramatic fashion. Like things could go wrong because it'd be a massive dead cap hit. It'd be about $50 million if they decide to move on, which is huge. But the Broncos just did that with Russell Wilson. I feel like if they're going to fire Saleh, they're going to fire Joe Douglas, and they're going to fire everybody, and it doesn't work this year, I think people will tire of Aaron Rodgers. It's possible. I mean, it could work. They could be great. They have a lot of talent. They could be really good. But I could see this going south because I saw it before with Brett Favre. Like, things could just go wrong with Aaron Rodgers, and they could decide, hey, we can't do this again.
I mean, if those are the two options for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott's looking pretty good because I don't want Kirk Cousins right now coming off an Achilles, and I don't want Aaron Rodgers is going to be 42 at that point. What are we doing here? Or even older? I don't know.
Well, no, I think he's turning 40 this offseason.
Okay, and he's also coming off a pretty big injury. A very big injury. These aren't like good options for me.
Well, listen.
How about the guy who's won you 12 games the last 3 years?
Okay, you want 6 years of Dak Prescott.
Why do I need 6 years?
Because what do you think is going to happen? There's no in between. Either you let him go to free agency or you give him a long deal.
Why? If they had actually just done this properly, the Cowboys, and had gotten it done last year, you'd already be a year through a contract extension where he would already be looking almost cheap at this point.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just saying you're going to sign him up for 6 years. Like why would they ever do that? Why wouldn't it just be basically a 3-year deal that's essentially a 2-year deal? Get your house.
Why would Dak do that?
He seems like he's ready to go to the negotiating table now.
No.
Dak always wants less years because he wants more bites at the apple, and the Cowboys are the ones who want more years. I never get it.
So Dax wants 4 years, right? At $60 million, he's going to want $250 or something like that.
I don't know.
I think you're signing. If you give Dak a new contract, you're signing up for a lot of Dak Prescott. Like, there's never anything different.
Listen, I've seen weird, funky things go on with NFL contracts my entire life, sports contracts in general. Could be 4 years that actually is effectively a 2-year deal. Like, there's ways to do this. And then you can spread out the dead cap money if you ever want to move on from him. Like, 6 years. Like, who's signing up for that?
He's been there 8 years. Like, if you sign him to a new deal, like, what's going to change at the end of that deal? Like, it's just Dak, which might be fine.
Okay, but
you have to swallow that pill and realize if you do another deal with Dak Prescott, he's likely coming close to retirement as a Cowboy.
Listen, that's fine. I don't like the two big swings you're giving me. I don't like Kirk Cousins because either he didn't play well coming off the Achilles, which forced Michael Penix to play, and that's why he's available. And I don't like the Aaron Rodgers because if things really implode with the Jets, that means we've had another year of either he's hurt or more weirdness or whatever, and I just don't have any faith left in him.
Well,
so I don't love these from a Cowboys perspective.
But what both those players offer the Cowboys is flexibility. Like those guys, Kirk has no guaranteed money after 2025. And Rodgers, I actually don't have Rodgers' numbers in front of me, but he starts coming off the books too. Like it's like the NBA. Like there's nothing more valuable than an expiring contract.
I'm telling you.
Basically, the Cowboys need a way to restart. And if they re-sign Dak, re-sign CD, and re-sign Parsons, then they have set themselves on this track where those guys are there. Like you have no flexibility moving forward. So at least Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers are 1-year deals for all. At a certain point, like you got to try something different, don't you? Or are you just going to keep running it back?
If those are the two options you're going to me, Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers, I'd rather run it back. 855-212-4227. Okay. The next quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys is ... fill in the blank. Andrew Bogusch is here with headlines. We will get to these sitcoms. We are going to reveal the top 4 seeds coming up in the next hour.
Mom. Thank you, Mom and Dad. USA men's basketball has been on the court prepping for the Olympics the last 2 days in Vegas. Kevin Durant, though, has only done individual work because of a sore calf. There's no real concern yet, though, about his availability for Paris. And Jason Tatum is only getting to town today. He's been excused the first 2 days for personal reasons. Of course, this is a star-studded group. Guys have to play different roles than during the NBA season, except Anthony Edwards.
I'm still the number one option. I mean, y'all might look at it differently. I don't look at it differently.
He's still the number one option, he says. So
they got to fit in and play around me. That's how I feel.
The guys have to learn to play around me.
Here we go.
So he's still in mid-season trash talking.
I love
mode.
that.
Me too, actually.
And by the way, they should make him the number one option instead of the dinosaurs that are
Well, here's a question.
on this roster.
Especially when they don't win a title. Have some humility.
Well,
as far as I'm concerned.
has Anthony
Losers.
Edwards played one international game?
No, this is his debut on the Olympic team, at least.
Did he play? He wasn't on that team last year?
He might be on the World Cup
Yeah.
team, but this is his first Olympics. So this is the first real big boy experience.
Well, yeah, he's 23.
Right.
When do they end again?
Soon. They'll be over soon. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
That's right.
Yeah, like 7 weeks from now. You're good.
Oh, all right.
Be strong.
To be honest, Perloff wasn't that excited about the Olympics, and now you're super excited about it, right? You've totally gone 180 on this.
I'm going to get us in trouble. I'm not rooting for U.S. basketball.
Lithuania?
No, I know who it is.
I'm Team Canada. I want America to win every other event, but you're talking about Kevin Durant and Joel Embiid taking 4 pump fakes with LeBron staring at him. Like, there's so many players to root against on this U.S. team. To see them lose would be just hysterical.
I know, but
and I think I don't think that's. I'm sorry if that's unpatriotic, but come on, that would be to see Kevin Durant and LeBron yelling at each other on the world's biggest stage.
No.
Would make me laugh for about a year.
it's going to be Anthony Edwards. See, he already
I
told
don't
you. He's
know.
the number one
Anthony
option.
Edwards said that, but I don't think LeBron is down with that plan.
I can just see R.J. Barrett lifting his gold medal up to this music right here. With glowing hearts, you know.
It's a good anthem.
It is.
It's a great
It's
anthem.
better than
anthem.
ours. Yeah.
See, is it better than ours, or is it just we hear ours so much?
Ours is
like,
good,
we hear
too.
Canada's. We hear Canada's anthem a lot because of hockey, but we're just so used to our anthem.
Our anthem's
Maybe.
solid. Rock solid.
I think our anthem's
Yeah.
solid. It's like, think about it. There's probably no song you've ever heard more in your life than the national anthem.
Probably.
It's like our number one song collectively that we've all heard the most.
Yeah, that and Happy Birthday. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
technically it's hard to sing, like from a performance standpoint, it's hard to sing our national anthem for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And maybe because Canada, when they sing it, we're in an arena full of crazies and they're passing the flag around.
Right.
But I don't know, there's just something about the Canadian national anthem.
This song's pretty good too.
It's a banger.
I prefer the
It's
Frank
not a
Drebin
banger.
version. Make it go. Bunch of bombs.
Rico Palazzo.
Yeah.
Lots of bombs in the air.
Poll question? Better
Or
anthem?
The
Us or
Carl Lewis
Canada?
version. Ruh-oh.
Free.
I don't think we should put that as a poll question because Canada has 100% approval rating on their anthem. I think you're right, though. It's just we don't hear it as much.
I mean, we've had a lot of time with our anthem.
Am
It's a good anthem.
Is it unpatriotic? And should I not go down this road to root against the U.S. basketball team?
It feels unpatriotic, and I also think that when push comes, say it's the gold medal game,
Yes.
and I think your patriotism is gonna end up bleeding out.
But
Your
there has-
stars and stripes are gonna start showing.
It really shouldn't be competitive where I have to worry about that. Just I think in looking at it from an NBA standpoint, it just would be so entertaining content-wise to see this all fall apart.
I was there in 2004 when they kept losing and losing and losing, and it was not fun.
Yeah, and I was an Iverson fan. He was part of that mess, right? Or
It's
was it Marbury?
Marbury,
Who
yeah.
kept on missing the outside shots? It was
Richard
Marbury.
Jefferson.
And Marbury could not hit. I mean, he was all over the back of that iron.
They were all bad. Even Tim Duncan was not good, and then things are going south if Tim Duncan's not even your anchor.
Yeah, so you're naming all these names. Like, who is actually going to be in crunch time for this America team? It's going to be the old guys, right? Like, they're going to LeBron and KD and Kawhi.
Yeah.
So Anthony Edwards is going to be on the bench with Jason Tatum watching the old guys get one last chance.
I can see it now. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander step back jumper for the win over Joel Embiid for the gold medal.
That's very specific. Steph Curry's also going to be there.
Yeah,
They
where's
do.
he fit in?
Got to be able to make outside shots in the international game. Perloff, everyone knows that.
But Steph Curry's a high-volume shooter. I don't know how this is all going to work. Yeah, Jamal Murray, oh, yeah. Let's Kelly Olynyk from outside from 3. That guy's
all right,
very
now
effective.
you're getting crazy. Yeah. Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk's a great
Yeah.
spot
Yeah,
up here.
RJ
Watch
Barrett.
Kelly Olynyk's going to have a moment in these Olympics.
Kelly Olynyk is actually the captain of the Canadian team.
Is that true?
It's actually
Kelly Olynyk's a good player.
It's actually very the thought of them losing is actually pretty exciting to me. It's considering LeBron there. If they lose to Uruguay in the first round, it'd be unbelievable.
Pete's not alone. Pete is not alone.
USA losing to Uruguay has become a theme.
That's right.
Uruguay did not qualify, by the way.
It would be even better.
You got to pick more of a dark horse, though, Pete. No Uruguay, but,
Panama? Pick them.
Puerto Rico made it.
All right, Puerto Rico.
What about Sudan's
careful
in
on
it?
Puerto Rico.
France has
Really?
like every top 10 pick in the last 2 years have been a French guy. How about
Did you
them?
see France and Germany getting into a fist fight the other day?
Evan Fournier, former Knick, put his hands around Dennis Schroeder's neck.
Like, literally choked him like Homer Simpson
No.
used to do to Bart Simpson. Yeah,
I did not see that.
it's crazy. Put his hands
Hey,
on
did Giannis qualify?
They
I know
did.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Beat
Okay.
Luka Doncic in Slovenia. Luka's out.
Luka's out. Oh, man.
Probably better.
Probably better for the Mavs, right?
Just rest.
Yes. Although you don't really want that guy with a lot of free time.
Everyone's telling me how tired he was at the end of the finals. Oh, he's so tired. Why? You're afraid he's going to just open a Raising Cane's and never leave?
He gets a little puffy on his own.
I just feel like him playing a lot might be a good thing. No. Luka Doncic. Slovenia's first Raising Cane's lines around the corner for sure. They don't have that orange sauce in Slovenia.
That cup full of sauce. Like, it just makes it seem like people are drinking the sauce.
There's a Raising Cane's near my house. I went out for dinner and walked by on the way home. I was actually considering double dipping it, even though I wasn't.
Oh, the Bang Bang?
Yeah, I just had a gigantic dinner. It was so full, but I'm like, how often am I walking past this Raising Cane's? The line wasn't long, which is rare, but I did not. But if I was, by the way, that might be a marketing opportunity. Eastern European franchising opportunities.
I mean, why are we all sitting here twiddling our thumbs? There's money to be made. What else we got, Boogie?
What
Yes.
is Theonis or Thanasis? Is he on this?
He has
team?
to be, yeah.
Of course.
Does he
He's the
play?
flag bearer, probably, for the Greece. It's the home of the Olympics. I mean, it's ancient Greece. It's like in marble statues of Greco-Roman wrestlers and Thanasis.
Can we just forget all the team play? Just have Thanasis play Bronny in one-on-one to determine who gets goals?
In a
gets that-
nepotism off?
Or who gets that last roster spot on the Lakers.
Yeah, right. At least Thanasis was a draft pick before anyone knew about Giannis.
Yeah, guess who he was drafted by?
Your New York Knicks.
Yeah, there you go.
Wrong brother. So close.
Could have had Costas.
You would have screwed it up with Giannis. I could get
Probably.
impregnated by a Raising Cane's lunch order. Sounds like something I'd say. Yeah, fair.
Guys, I don't want to rock our world, but
Breaking news?
Thanasis is not on this team that I'm looking at right now.
Nepotism.
Now, Costas is, but not Thanasis.
Bob Costas?
That seems awful. Wait a minute. This has to be. You're getting bad intel.
Is Greece pickier? Does Greece have higher standards than an NBA team?
And the Bucks front office?
Or is Thanasis unavailable because of injury?
How? He doesn't play. Injured or how?
He actually
I
got
don't
some
know.
run this year because they were so injured. Who is on are there any other pros from Greece?
So again, I think this is the current roster. So there is Nick Kalathis, a one-time NBA player and a good college player. Thomas Walkup played college basketball here. And then there's just a lot of guys who are from Greece and play in Greece.
All right.
There are guys whose names are so long they don't fit on one line.
I think Kostas Papanikolaou played in the NBA.
I think you're right, too.
Oh.
No, Georgios Papagiannis also was drafted.
Wasn't he on Webster? George Papadopoulos.
Close enough. That's his uncle.
Did not make the bracket.
That's right.
By the way, I did mention Webster. Didn't make the bracket.
What a great show that was.
Can I just call the July the month of Pete Pilati? Like, we're doing sitcom brackets.
That's right.
Like, we're doing strange random sports. LeBron's probably going to play poorly. This is going to be
It's
amazing.
like a deep dive into my life.
We could have done a Pete's Mad bracket.
Oh, that'll be 128 teams.
We have to wait for them to expand the tournament.
We can't do that. That'll take a whole year to do that.
TNT's going to come running like, no, we're back in the basketball business. We just want the bracket.
Sci-fi's involved somehow.
The Las Vegas Aces took care of the Dallas Wings yesterday, 104-85. Asia Wilson scoring 28 points, along the way becoming the franchise's all-time leading scorer. The Boston Red Sox finished Sunday on the diamond with a 3-0 win at Yankee Stadium. The Sox hit 3 solo homers over their final 3 at-bats, 2 of them from Rafi Devers. Manager Alex Cora recaps the entire weekend in the Bronx.
We won Friday on a great way, and we showed up yesterday, and we got our asses kicked, and we showed up today, and we won the game.
So the Sox took 2 of 3. They went 5-1. on their road trip overall. All-star pitchers and reserves announced before that game. There are now 32 first-time All-Stars after the addition of the likes of Pirates rookie righty Paul Skeens, Royals shortstop Bobby Witt Jr., and Reds shortstop
Ella de Cruz. How? That's a tough one.
Paul O'Neill, not named to the All-Star broadcast booth.
Also, don't give him the Greek national team. It would be carnage.
Just would dive out of the booth.
Honestly, even Bob Costas might have trouble with this, and he's Greek.
Want me to watch the Olympics? Have Paul O'Neill do that game.
That'd be tough.
Novak Djokovic and American Danielle Collins play their fourth-round matches at Wimbledon today, and Davis Thompson got his first PGA Tour win yesterday, taking the John Deere Classic by 4 shots. Thompson finished at 28 under par, the best 72-hole score in tournament history. Guys, back to you.
Bogus, thank you so much. Okay, next hour, we're going to reveal the top 4 seeds of our sitcom bracket, which gets started in earnest on Tuesday. But coming up, one quarterback in the best shape of his life is going to win him the job on his team. We'll get to that next. It's Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Dr. Perloff, he's got an ankle that's tricky. Milky white, it hurts, sometimes it's quite picky. Bug bites here and there, make it itch and twitch. Got him looking like he's doing a funny little hitch. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. His ankle's like a magnet for every bug in town. Mosquitoes have a party, won't leave him alone now. Red and bumpy, itching all night long. Andrew's ankle's got a bitey little song. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. His ankle's like a magnet for every bug in town. Mosquitoes have a party, won't leave him alone now. Red and bumpy, itching all night long. Andrew's ankle's got a bitey little song. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. You see him scratching, don't worry, he's alright. Just fending off the bug bites, they're pesky and they bite. It's got rhythm and soul, it's a star in the making. Andrew's ankle, the legend's awakening. Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. So here's to Perloff and his ankle so spry. Covered in bug bites, still reaching for the sky. We'll watch and we'll laugh every step that you take. Andrew's ankle, you're the best, for goodness sake. In the world of sports talk, under Uncle Sam's on YouTube, tuning for some laughs with a beer in his hand and his feet on the grass. He cheers for the Bogush and Perloff with a toast to the day. 4th of July's the best, you'll hear him say. Raise your glass like the sky, it's the 4th once more. Uncle Sam's got stories that you can't ignore. From Maggie to Perloff, he's got quite the plan to celebrate freedom with a drink in his hand. Uncle of the year with a patriotic twist, watching sports and sipping brews, none he's missed. He jokes and he laughs, spills some too, it's alright, cause Drunkle Sam's in charge of the fun tonight. Raise your glass like the sky.
Living life in 20-second views, scrolling through, he's got no time to lose. Maggie and Perloff, Daily's keeping score. YouTube's his love. He's begging for more. Double tap, clicking on that video. From sunrise to sunset, he never lets it go. Maggie snappy, Perloff's got a glow. Daily's hooked, he's looking for the show. Chasing trends, Daily's on a quest. Comments pouring in, he's one of the best. From every corner of the internet's reach. Daily's voice. Reach it to preach. Living life in 20-second views. Scrolling through, he's got no time to lose.
Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Top seeds in our Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket come your way in the next hour. Tournament gets going in earnest tomorrow. Okay, we already have a best shape of their life story, Pearl. I don't know if you saw this photo of Justin Fields, who right now is the backup quarterback for your Pittsburgh Steelers, looking absolutely shredded. Now, I don't know if there was like a before picture of Fields that we had to compare this to. Maybe he's always looked like this. But certainly, this is somebody who is working on their body, looks absolutely shredded. Did that at all, when you saw that photo, make you think, perhaps he does have maybe a better shot at the starting quarterback job than it looks like right now?
100% no. What difference does it make if a quarterback is shredded?
Well, if you're going to have your quarterback be one of your best athletes on the field, which that happens nowadays, and he's going to be a dual threat quarterback, then you probably want the guy to look pretty shredded.
Well, I mean, in Chicago, he was the best. He almost set the rookie record for rushing yards. And guess what? They didn't see enough value on him to keep him. Of course, they did have an opportunity for Cal Williams. Justin Fields' issues, as I understand them, are not his athleticism, his shape. It's his ability to play quarterback, to really run a passing offense. So I don't think this helps him at all. Honestly, I always think of Tom Brady and pliability. Like, you don't need your quarterback to be ripped. We've seen Patrick Mahomes with his shirt off a lot this offseason. He should put that shirt back on.
Oh, gosh.
So, this really does nothing for me when I see that position. Like, being muscular doesn't help. Do you see this as a game changer?
Well, I actually think that Fields is going to end up starting some games no matter what. And I think that I just don't know. I'm not sold on Russell Wilson being able to recapture some magic here. I think that magic might permanently be gone. And he had a great career and he'll be in the Hall of Fame and all of that. But I think that magic may be gone. And if I'm a Steeler fan, I'm thinking about the future. Can I actually develop Justin Fields into somebody who can be my franchise quarterback moving forward? And, I know that they didn't have to trade a lot to get him. All that's gone now. Now he's in your building. We saw what he could do at Ohio State. It's not like he has no talent, and it's not like he has no arm talent. So let's see if he can get this thing going with the Steelers. If I were a Steeler fan, I'd be like beside myself about the Russell Wilson thing. Let's just try to find the next quarterback of the future here.
Right, but the thing is, you're going to have to pay Justin Fields, so it's a little more complicated than that. Because if he's good, then you're going to have to make a huge investment in that. So he's going to have to be really good where you're not nervous about that.
Okay, but here's my thing about that investment. Say it's some kind of Kyler Murray type of deal, which seemed crazy at the time, which doesn't seem so crazy right now because it's basically 3 years, and then I can get out of it. And
that's a long time.
Is it though? I mean,
the Cardinals definitely regret the Kyler Murray deal.
But what are you doing right now if you're the Steelers? You let Kenny Pickett go to be the backup at the Philadelphia Eagles. He is not getting on the field outside of some bad injury. I'll knock on wood for you to Jalen Hurts. At least Fields is going to be competing. You'd think competing for the spot
because but
there's
the thing
no
is,
competition in Philly.
If you re-sign Fields, then you're shutting off the opportunity to get a different franchise player. Maybe, you're not going to find the next Big Ben if you commit to either Russ Wilson or Justin Fields in the offseason. So I do think these are one-year tryouts, and we'll see how they go. But, I mean, he has to be really good for them to pay up to keep him. Like, he can't be sort of, maybe there's some promise here. He's past the developmental stage because he's out of his rookie deal. Like, he's got to come in and hit it immediately and be way better than he was in Chicago.
See, I think that maybe you and I differ on just like if Justin Fields comes in and plays well, it doesn't mean he all of a sudden goes to the top of the food chain in terms of $60 million. I do think there is a middle ground because we saw the Packers do it with Jordan Love. And I don't know what Jordan Love's going to get paid now, but we saw that deal sort of extend off the rookie deal, and it was palatable. And then you see how he plays. Like, I don't think it's all of a sudden submarining your franchise. I do think you can find a middle ground.
Yeah, I just worry that you can't. I mean, even the middle ground, like Baker Mayfield, is like $40 a year. For me, the bigger concern is unless Justin Fields is really improved. Like, when are the Steelers going to find a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Is he that guy? And I'm not so sure yet.
Well, they're not going to be picking at the top of the draft because that's not what the Steelers do.
They're 9-8 every year. I know. So they actually trying for Pickett wasn't a bad idea. It just turned out Pickett wasn't the player. I don't know where. I'm not sure. I kind of agree with you. I'm not sure Wilson is the Super Bowl winning guy at this point of his career. I don't know if Fields is. I would have to be impressed with Fields this year. I think he has to really take a step forward as a quarterback.
If we're calling it now, right? You have Fields, who, again, put out this photo on social media. I don't even know if he put it out, but someone put it out, and he looks absolutely ripped. A best shape of your life situation. If I gave you Fields, Russell Wilson, and the field of who's the starting quarterback for the Steelers, not this upcoming season, but next year, where would you put your money?
I would put the field because those guys are both on one-year deals.
You don't think either of them are going to do anything to distinguish themselves? Because then you're back at square one if you're the Steelers, and then what are you doing?
Well, even if they do distinguish themselves, you're competing with the rest of the league for these guys. I mean, I think oh, man. So who would they extend?
I think it's going to be Fields.
They're really going to extend. They're going to extend Fields at 24 after the rookie deal is done. Really?
I think so. I don't think it's going to be Russell Wilson. I don't. And now listen, it's Arthur Smith who's there as the offensive coordinator. He's more of a running attack guy.
Yeah.
But still,
I'll take the
You're
field.
going to put your stuff, your eggs in the Russell Wilson basket to get you where? You're not a Super Bowl contender with Russell Wilson.
No,
I don't know what you are with Fields, but I know you're not with Russell Wilson.
I think the Steelers front office knows exactly what they're doing. There is not a team that is less invested in the quarterback position. There's not a team that is more ready to make a big move next year than them. They have nothing. Basically, they're off the books. Like, they could do anything they want next year. That's why I take the field.
Okay, but have the Steelers really been that team who are they bringing in off the street?
They had Ben Roethlisberger for 20 years.
No, but they drafted him. I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying.
They drafted and developed
they could draft. They got Ben at 11, I believe. Like, yeah, they could draft another guy. They could sign another guy. There's all sorts of things they can do next year. Hey, they're trying with these two guys, but I think this is an extended tryout this year.
Yeah, but
I think there's a really good chance there's a third option, which is someone new next year.
I know, but it feels like that middle ground, which is not the place you want to be, right? Because you're not going to be bad enough to get a top pick, and you're not going to be good enough to be a Super Bowl contender. So where are you? Well, you're picking around probably the 20s again, which is exactly where you fell for Kenny Pickett, and that didn't work. So it's like these options aren't that easy. It's not so obvious of where they would go. In the meantime, you kind of feel like you're spinning your wheels and sort of, I don't say wasting everyone's time, but aren't you? And aren't you kind of wasting some more of TJ Watt's prime? Like, I just don't get it. If you're not going to invest in Justin Fields and think, okay, we can build on this young guy, then what are we doing here if you're the Steelers? You're like hoping for a Lamar Jackson injury or a Joe Burrow injury to try to sneak you into the 7th and 6th seed?
Did they just trade? I'm not sure. So what do you mean? Like, they just gave up a 6th-round pick for this guy?
No, but how do you
He's not a huge value right now.
So Russell Wilson isn't either. That's what I'm saying. Like, what? You're saying that the Steelers have a plan. How? What evidence do you have of that?
I think you and I just view team building differently. Like, flexibility is very, very important. Not getting stuck. You're in limbo when you have contracts that you can't get off your books and you can't sign anybody or you can't do anything. Honestly, the way to win a Super Bowl is have a quarterback on a rookie deal or to have a Patrick Mahomes. I just think that it was smarter. Like, they could have gone into this offseason and say, hey, we'll give Baker Mayfield 3 years or something like that. But they didn't. They valued flexibility. They're bringing Justin Fields on a flyer the way you're talking about him is like, oh, they should build around Justin Fields to make sure it works here. Like, do everything they can with him just because he's shredded in a picture. I think this is a speculative guy that may or may not work out. It reminds me of Trey Lance in Dallas. To me, they're almost the same thing.
I think it was a mistake for the Steelers to anoint Russell Wilson as the starter. That has been a mistake. You should have made it a true quarterback competition. And if they really were trying to start over with a rookie quarterback, like you and I disagree. I don't think the Steelers have a plan, because if they were really trying to start over with another quarterback, you're picking 20 this year and you had 6 quarterbacks go in the first round. You're not trying to trade up. You didn't fall in love with any of these quarterbacks. We just had this prolific first round of You needed a quarterback and you decided to go with a combination of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Like, the plan, I don't see the plan.
I don't know. That's a lot to get up from 20 to those quarterbacks. That's
Just
not
saying.
typical Steelers moves at all.
Okay, coming up. Did someone make a mistake on passing on the Lakers?
You're in a
Speaks of pyramids and secrets where the old gods dwell. First it's just giants, ancient and grand. Then come the aliens with plans for the land. Oh, Peter Bellotti, hold on tight. Each game unveils a stranger sight. From ancient relics beneath the turf to cosmic plots that question Earth. Whispers of a league on the moon, played in craters under a starlit monsoon. Claims of playbooks written in celestial script, decoded by seers in a cryptic crypt. Now it's not just aliens, it's time-traveling fans watching games that are part of the universe's plans. Interdimensional gates at the 50-yard line, where players and phantoms uniquely intertwine. Oh, Peter Bellotti, what's next in the game? A halftime show with Bigfoot staking his claim. Quantum footballs that phase and shift, each play a puzzle, a dimensional rift, intertwined. Oh, Peter Bellotti, what's next in the game? A halftime show with Bigfoot staking his claim. Quantum
Maggie's got some giant feet, they're the talk of the town. When she walks the sidewalk cracks, she's bringing buildings down. She tried to buy some shoes, but they said no way. Now she's wearing boat sails just to get through the day. Maggie's giant feet, they're a real big deal. Stepping on puddles, creating lakes for real. Maggie's giant feet, they make a mighty thud. But Maggie just laughs, hey, it's all in good fun. She went to a dance, cleared out the floor. Her feet made the music, folks yelled for more. At the beach she's a hit, making giant sand castles. Her footprint's so big, they're like dinosaur battles. She went to a dance, cleared out the floor. Peter Bellotti loves Wendy's bacon treats. He dances with joy every time he eats. Crispy strips of happiness, that's no lie. Peters and bacon, heaven reaching for the sky. Wendy's bacon makes Peter so glad. One bite, he's the happiest lad. Crispy, crunchy, bacon delight. Peter's in bliss, morning, noon, and night. He orders a stack, can't get
seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
While you were sleeping, yet another free agent passed on the Lakers. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. It feels like that, Perloff, because while we were all celebrating the July 4th weekend, DeMar DeRozan ends up getting a sign-and-trade where he ends up with the Sacramento Kings, and it was yet another player who basically said thanks but no thanks to the LA Lakers. They thought he could have been a target. LeBron James said he'd take less money if some of these free agents would come to LA, and now this is just another example of a guy who's going elsewhere. And the question is, are any of these dudes going to regret this, right? Or are, not joining the Lakers kind of became like the in vogue thing to do, this free agent cycle. Is anyone going to regret that?
100% no. DeMar DeRozan, where would he fit in the Lakers? I didn't understand. And James Harden, the two of them, to me, like these old scorer guys, like, is that what the Lakers need to get older and worse on defense? Like, I didn't love those fits anyway. So I think DeRozan's honestly did the right thing. I'd go to Sacramento. You have a better chance of sort of exceeding expectations there. I wouldn't want any part of this Lakers team if I was a guy like him.
I mean, is it become a place where I'm not going to say that the Lakers are toxic because I don't think you can say that. But, I mean, when have the Lakers not been a free agent destination? And then on top of it, even to play with LeBron and Anthony Davis, it's not just LeBron, but Anthony Davis. I'm surprised at the turn that this has taken, especially because LeBron was out there publicly, his people were out there saying, we'll take a pay cut if you come to play with me, and everyone said no thanks.
Well, sort of, but the money was bad. I mean, Harden, obviously, they couldn't compete with the Clippers for Harden, for example. I don't think they wanted Jonas Valanciunas for any money, and I'm not sure they wanted DeMar, so we're not sure.
Well, those are the guys who are on the quote-unquote wish list.
The wish list, yeah. So DeMar DeRozan got 3 years, $74 million from the Kings. I don't know if the Lakers even wanted to do that. So that's the other thing, too, was the front office into LeBron's wish list. They might not have been. So we don't even know if these teams, if the Lakers really even reached out to these guys.
Well, I think that LeBron was making overtures,
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think that's almost the same as the front office. It's this, if it's coming from LeBron, I think it's understood that it's coming from the Lakers.
I don't think so on that. I totally disagree. I think that Pelinka has different ideas. I'll bet you LeBron. But I mean, obviously, I don't think they could have paid Jonas Valanciunas, and they did clearly to make him an offer.
I guess not. I mean, the
Which is,
idea
by the
that
way,
it would
is
be
smart.
out there and Jonas Valanciunas was like, no, I'm going to go to Washington and I'm not going to go to the LA Lakers. It's
Jonas
just crazy.
He's not good.
He's
regardless,
it's like
of his career.
The idea that it's somebody who LeBron may have wanted and thought could be an addition to this team and said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to go to the most irrelevant franchise in the entire NBA.
Well, because I don't think the Lakers made him an offer. And the thing is, DeMar, would you take a pay cut to play with LeBron? Like that's a different formula altogether too. Like if you really thought LeBron was prime LeBron and on the brink of a title, you might say, I'll take $20 million less to go there. But I don't think, to your point, that that's where the Lakers are. So I don't think DeMar DeRozan is going to take a little bit less money to go to the Lakers. And I think that would have been the situation.
Okay, but are the Kings closer to a title? I mean...
No, I don't think. I think in that situation, you might as well just go for the money because I don't think either team's getting a title. That's what I'm saying. You're not taking a discount because of the chance to win a ring with the Lakers anymore. That's the reality of the situation.
But here's the thing. LeBron was going to take the discount. That's what we're being told. That
Yeah,
it
but they
wouldn't have
still
had to
couldn't
been
have-
DeMar DeRozan taking a discount because LeBron was going to take it off of his tab. And I don't know if it would have been enough, but
I don't think they could have gotten to the same number.
But they definitely wanted it out there. And DeMar DeRozan is from L.A. I mean, there had to be some, it's not like you're getting some kind of tax break. Sacramento's still in California. It's all that same stuff that we talked about with Klay Thompson, him picking the Mavericks over the L.A. Lakers. Like, Texas, no income tax. All your dollar goes further. All that stuff. He still has to deal with that if you're DeRozan. It just felt like, it feels like this is a moment in time where the Lakers are trying to tell you that they are championship contenders or they're very close to being championship contenders, but it's almost in name only. Like, I don't think anyone believes that, LeBron and Anthony Davis can be enough now to get you a title, considering how good the rest of the Western Conference and certain teams have gotten. You're right about how much younger they've gotten. They don't have the defensive stopper. There's a complete unknown in JJ Redick. And then you're drafting Bronny, who, whether you think this is a feel-good story or not, or however you land on it, we saw Bronny in Summer League, and he looked totally out of his depth. So it's like this idea, like, you could just, what happened to the Lakers here? Because you used to be able to get free agents on the Lakers almost just on cachet alone. And with LeBron and AD, you should still have this cachet, and it looks like they don't.
Yeah, but there's something called a salary cap. So I'm not sure... Like, when in this LeBron era, have they really been able to, land a third free agent? No, they've traded for a bunch of guys.
I think they thought they were getting somebody, Russell Westbrook, and that was a mistake.
I think you're oversimplifying the cap situation here.
LeBron was willing to take a pay cut. I'm
even
not,
with the
I'm
pay
not
cut,
oversimplifying.
I don't think they had their choice of free agents here. I think it was for example, Harden. There's just no way they were going to be able to afford a James Harden. Even if LeBron, that's why I don't quite know why LeBron came out with those statements. It wasn't really a realistic thing for LeBron James to say. Did he say? I can't remember. Rich Paul got out there where his best why would he say that? Because those were not realistic options for the Lakers. James Harden was not coming there. So the whole thing feels a bit messy. And you're right. Maybe there was a time and a different salary structure in the NBA where the Lakers get anyone they wanted. Clearly not the case here. And for a guy like DeMar DeRozan, why would he want to be a Laker right now? What's the upside? To be, probably take just a tiny bit less and then just be the fourth wheel on a team that goes out in the first round?
Who's the third wheel?
Okay, that's a good question.
I think he'd be the third, right?
I mean, Russell and Reeves take a lot of shots.
So here's the thing about DeRozan,
Russell will probably take more shots than him.
Let's not pretend that DeMar DeRozan's not a good player. He just hasn't been on effective teams, but he has been reliable. He is not exactly a floor spacer, but he's a good mid-range shooter. And again, he plays a lot, and that's something that the Lakers could definitely use.
Yeah, but you say who's the third option? Where DeMar DeRozan's a 24-point-a-game scorer in Chicago. He's probably 14 or 15 with the Lakers, right?
Well, he's going to probably have to take a little bit less when he's in Sacramento, too, because you have De'Aaron Fox and you have Domantas Sabonis. So obviously, and he's 34, so he would understand.
Yeah, he's he's a different kind of role. He's basically a role player, and he's honestly not the role player the Lakers need. Maybe you're right. He will chew up a lot of minutes, and that's good. But they need somebody to help Anthony Davis up front. They need a dynamic backcourt. They need a lot of different things. It's just adding another old player doesn't do it for me for the Lakers.
Well, they didn't add anybody, so you don't have to worry about
added Dalton Connect.
Right, with the draft pick, because they got lucky that he landed at 17. That was by no, that was just pure luck for them.
He looked brutal on Saturday's Summer League game. He didn't look ready to play at all either, which immediately disappointed me because like LeBron, he was my favorite rookie. Yeah, I don't know if this free agent solution was ever going to make a difference with the Lakers. I don't think there was any guy out there in LeBron's wish list or any other wish list who was going to put them over the top. They're still at best the fourth best roster in the West.
Can we hear a little from LeBron James? So he did this interview with ESPN. I don't know. It aired yesterday. It must have been the last couple days. Can I hear cut 10, please, about the Lakers missing out on these free agents? Here's what LeBron had to say.
It takes two to tango. I mean, at the end of the day, I think, our front office and our coaching staff, they try to do the job that they wanted to do or try to get guys to come, and it didn't happen. And that's okay. That's part of the business.
All right. So just saying the front office, he thinks, tried, couldn't get people to go there. I don't know. Let's hear more from LeBron. He's asked the question here, can they still win? Let's hear cut 11.
We talked about the stuff you've been able to earn through this game, but you still want to win. Can you do it here with the Lakers between now and the end of your career? Can it happen again?
Of course. course.
What gives you that confidence?
Because we've done it before.
Right. So that's obviously talking about the bubble and then being in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. But things have changed since then. First of all, the composition of their team has changed a lot since 2020. Besides LeBron and AD, totally different coach, a lot of different role players. And then, last year, listen, these role players and the changes that they made that were so touted at the end of last season, 2 seasons ago, I guess, when they faced the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, just didn't have the same years. Some injury and some other reasons, I guess, regression.
Also,
I don't know.
The path was a lot harder. They ran the Nuggets early, and the Nuggets are a particularly bad matchup for the Lakers. I don't think they were much of a worse team than the year before. If they'd gotten a different draw, they might have made a deeper run in the playoffs.
They were still a play-in team. It's
but the year before they were playing team and made the Western Conference Finals. They were basically the same exact team.
But again, this is not super close to me, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were probably a better team last year than the year before because after the trade deadline, I think they had the second or third best record in the NBA. They were kind of ready to go. They just were not Denver. They probably couldn't have beaten Minnesota. Like these tall Western Conference teams are a problem for them. They were 43 and 39 the year they made the Western Conference Finals, 47 and 35 last year, but way better the second half of the season. So they're a good team. It's hard to see the path for them to be the best team in the West.
You had a poll question about Bronny James.
Should the Lakers, will Bronny James play for the Lakers in meaningful minutes? Want to guess?
Will Bronny play meaningful minutes for the Lakers?
Will Bronny James play meaningful minutes for the Lakers in Game 1 of the NBA season?
Game 1. What's meaningful? Like more than 8? More than 5?
Like rotational minutes. Or is he a rotation player?
No, I think he's going to get in the first game, though.
95% say no meaningful minutes.
I mean, I get it. But I do think he's going to get in that first game to try to make that memory. Get it out of the way in the beginning.
That's a really great question. I'm dying to see that game. Will they get him? That's not a bad idea. Rip the Band-Aid. Let him play 3 minutes. It's just hard the way NBA rotations work. Either you rotate in at the end of the first quarter or you don't. So you can't just randomly insert him in the third quarter, can you?
Well, you don't think there's somebody who could put their thumb on the scale a little bit to get Bronny into a rotation? You don't think it's a Bronny package?
Well, that's my question.
Like a sub-package?
But, okay, D'Angelo Russell's a point guard, and I guess Austin Reeves is the 2 guard. Do they come off the bench, and does Bronny come in for one of them? Like, is this how it's going to work?
Manu's shaking his head.
I can't tell if there's anybody that could potentially, tell JJ Redick to put their son into the game.
I think LeBron can.
You think so? You think
definitely
second quarter in a close game?
I think that they're
against the Warriors.
I think that there's going to be a Bronny package. Like, again, like in the NFL, when sometimes you have like special
come on,
special packages for guys, like running a Wildcat or something. I think they're going to have a special Bronny, a Bronny Wildcat.
What are they going to have him line up at half court and have him run a post route and hope he can dunk the ball in?
Something like that. I think there's going to be a special Bronny package that's like outside of the rotation, the normal rotations when LeBron wants Bronny to get some burn.
So I'm looking at their depth chart. Gabe Vincent is still there, so he'll come in for Russell. Then they love this kid, Max Christie. I think they're going to give him some run as a backup 2 guard. So I don't know where Bronny. I guess you could keep Max Christie on the bench. They don't have a lot of guys. Maybe. A little Cam Reddish action.
Oh, boy. 855-212-4227.
This is a total joke. This is totally ridiculous. This is not about anything to do with winning whatsoever. This is about satisfying someone's personal beliefs and personal vendetta, and it's a total embarrassment to the NBA. I'd rather hear about load management than hear about this stuff.
LeBron
this
James,
is totally ridiculous.
He should be focused on Paris, right, Pete?
No, but come on.
No, Pete's rooting against LeBron in Paris.
We're hiring LeBron's coach. We're drafting LeBron's kid who puts undue pressure on him when he shouldn't have that pressure because he's not any good.
Yeah, but Pete,
he should be in college.
Pete, if you were LeBron James, what would you do? You would not have taken this opportunity to have your kid in the NBA. You're lying.
That's the way he's doing it is totally unbelievable.
How other way is there to do this?
Wait, hold on.
They're wasting a draft pick on the kid.
There is a way, I think, for LeBron to use his outside influence to try to get Bronny to an NBA team. That doesn't mean you have to get drafted. That doesn't mean that you have to make demands about guaranteed contracts and not being a two-way player and not wanting to go to the G League and all that stuff. There's a way with all your resources and connections to try to get your kid, funnel them towards an NBA team. But that doesn't mean they should have to use a draft pick on you.
Okay, I'll give you the G League stuff, but you have to get him to the Lakers. And the truth is, Bronny could have gone in the second round otherwise. I mean, he was a McDonald's All-American with a 42-inch vertical. He could have been the 60th pick easily. Like, why risk that?
No one.
He wasn't going to be the 60th pick at all.
A lot of teams, if LeBron and Rich Paul didn't put out the word, then other teams might have drafted him.
I do not think that's true.
I do. The announcers on the G League game looked at the profile of where he was compared to other players. Are like, yeah, this could easily be a second round pick. Like, this is a guy who was a McDonald's All-American who fell short. It's first year. They had all these comps of players who didn't really score in college who still got drafted in the second round.
Okay, that's fine, but was it coming off of 4 points in college with the heart condition, with being 6'1", with he has a lot of things working against him, and he has one incredible thing working for him, and we all know what that is. It's dad. And the idea that LeBron is going away, that's not true either. So why couldn't they have just done this a year from now? Let him actually go to college for another year. Maybe get a little bit better, as opposed to now you're going to sit at the end of the bench for a LeBron vanity project, as opposed to actually becoming maybe a better basketball player.
I just want to know what the exact issue is. So is the issue that they used a second round pick? Like, you cared about the 55th pick? Is the issue that they're not letting him go to the G League? Or is the issue that he's a Laker and he wasn't open the whole? Like, what's the biggest problem? Or is it the whole package?
They're running the organization.
Yeah.
Like they're running the organization to satisfy someone's personal agenda rather than to win. That's what they're doing with everything they're doing here.
And but
how does any coach with the draft pick?
This is the thing we're talking about, though. It's also because you're asking about meaningful minutes. And you're asking not just did they use the draft pick? Okay, that already happened. Are they doing this? What is he going to be in the G League? What that stuff is getting figured out. We're asking about rotations now, and could there be meaningful minutes for him even if he doesn't deserve them because LeBron's there and wants to make a moment in a memory?
Okay, but the Lakers win total is at 47.5. Does it change one game either way because Bronny James is on the bench?
It doesn't, but here's the thing. What's this going to look like? There's a lot in between him getting drafted and the bottom line of whenever the Lakers season ends, because there's a lot of how this looks.
You're right.
And the idea that LeBron may be, again, putting his thumb on the scale to try to get Bronny playing time and using that to influence because he can influence the coach and using that because he can influence other factors on the team, that's already been proven, right? He clearly influences the team.
I just think that the Lakers are going to be who the Lakers are. This 55th pick does not matter. Honestly, Bronny does really, in some ways, helps the team. So everyone's focused on Bronny. So we're actually not focusing on the real problems, which is an aging, incomplete roster.
That's true. 855-212-4227. So there you go. A little of what was going on with Bronny over the weekend, which was one California Classic game, not even full summer league, but a California Classic game, and then sat out yesterday because he had a sore knee.
Who did he play in that game? A bunch of sandwich makers? I mean, it's ridiculous.
The Golden State Warriors C team.
These summer league players are amazing. It just shows you how good you have to be to get to the NBA. They're like, oh, this guy scored 17 points a game at Cal Poly or something. I'm like, and he has no prayer of making the NBA. And then you see Bronny, who's way worse than those guys. Anyway.
Tough watch.
The Sacramento Kings actually have two teams in this tournament.
I saw that. They had two games. They played two games on the same day.
It's a split squad.
California League, baby.
Okay, coming up, we are going to reveal the top 4 seeds on the Maggie and Perloff summer sitcom bracket. We are going to determine, with your help, in fact, you're going to determine what is the greatest sitcom of all time. Again, the top 4 number 1 seeds are all going to be revealed next. It's Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Lost in the Andrew Bogush, lost in the fog of golf. Bogush can't see his way. People out his voice in his ears every day. Tom Brady's glory, it's all too much. Andrew Bogush needs a break. Bogush has had enough of Pete. Freedom from Bilotti, that's what Bogush needs. Pete Bilotti won't leave alone. His voice keeps ringing in his headphones like a drone. Oh, get out of Bogush's head. Pete Bilotti, can't you see? Bogush trying to be free in the sea of noise. Let Bogush find his peace. Oh, get out of Bogush's head. Pete Bilotti. Andrew Bogush.
3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Big summer coming up. We are going to have a heated topic, the best sitcom of all time. Now, I have a lot of opinions. Maggie has a lot of opinions. Andrew Bogusch has a lot of opinions. Manny Rodriguez has some opinions. I don't know. Are you into this?
I don't watch TV. I play video games and I watch sports.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is
Kids
why.
today.
That is why I feel like the younger generation should have no say in this. They don't know sitcoms. Sitcoms are a old art form. So I'm very curious. We're going to do a bracket of the top 64. You know, there's a lot of different questions. What's a sitcom? Is a cartoon a sitcom? Do the old ones count? Do the new ones count? What's the form we're talking about? I just think it's going to be really hard for us all to get on the same page. I'm glad that people get to vote. We're going to have to accept a winner. But what are we going to do right now, Maggie? We're going to give everyone a little taste?
Okay, so this is a bracket that is going to start in earnest tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be doing one sort of quadrant, if you will, at a time, just like the NCAA tournament reveal. One sort of, Eastern, Western, South. I don't know how we're going to do that. But anyway, we're going to reveal one sort of quadrant per day, starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And obviously, sitcoms are going to go head-to-head against each other. And we're going to put those out on our X feed, which is Maggie and Pearl. And you can vote on which sitcom should win in a head-to-head battle, and your vote counts. Winner moves on, and that's how this thing is going to work.
I have a small suggestion.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we should name each region after a character.
Okay, we could do that.
Pick a character from one from the 60s, one from the 70s, one from the 80s, and one from now.
Or from the number one seed in each region?
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Okay, so all those details, we're going to reveal them all tomorrow, but we wanted to give a little taste of what this bracket's going to be all about. So today, we are revealing all 4 number 1 seeds. And it begins with Seinfeld. 9 seasons of Seinfeld, 180 episodes. Final season averaged 38 million viewers. This is a 68 Emmy nominations, 10 wins, 15 Golden Globe nominations, 3 wins. Jerry Seinfeld, according to Crane's Business Journal, I guess, has become a billionaire off of their syndication. So that is Seinfeld, just one of the top overall seeds in this bracket.
Not the number 1 overall seed, just one of the 4. Okay.
You got it.
Remember when Larry King asked Seinfeld why NBC canceled Seinfeld? And Seinfeld looked at him like he had 3 eyes.
He goes, "You think we were canceled?" Yeah. It's not how
I
it
miss
works.
Larry King. Anyway.
The second number 1 overall seed in the Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket is The Simpsons. Longest running animated series of all time, 768 episodes and counting. 36th season has been already guaranteed. It's going to kick off in October. 37 Emmy wins for The Simpsons and multiple Peabody Awards as well, which is not something you find on this types of lists.
What's a Peabody? It's like a Pulitzer?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Way to go, Simpsons.
There you go. We're revealing the top seeds, the top 4 number 1 seeds, the Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket. Number 3, I guess, the third number 1 seed, if you will, that belongs to Cheers. 11 seasons, 275 episodes, over 100 Emmy nominations, including 28 primetime Emmy wins. The finale, 93 million people reportedly watched the finale of Cheers. I was one of them. I think I was 7 years old.
Yeah, I recently saw the last scene. Man, that even hearing that music, I'm getting a little emotional here.
Yeah, all-time great intro. So that is the third of our number 1 seeds. And finally, the top number 1 overall seed in the Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket belongs to MASH. It's 11 seasons for MASH, 251 episodes. Nominated also for over 100 Emmys, 14 wins. 125 million people watched the finale, according to the New York Times, and the finale was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's the biggest non-football thing on TV ever, right? I think.
This was MASH. 11 seasons. I have never seen an episode of MASH.
Not even in like a afternoon syndication?
Nope. But I realize the importance, the cultural importance, and it is definitely a fair number 1 overall seed.
You've never seen an episode of MASH?
No, you have to have. You don't remember, and that's like, there's no way to disprove it. You've seen it. It's been on your TV in the afternoon.
I'm aware that like Alan Alda was in it. I don't know anyone else. I know they were Army doctors. Like, I'm aware of the show, guys. I just never watched it.
I'm
Cheers,
sure,
I watched.
I'm
Cheers,
sure you've seen all episode of MASH.
Not start to finish.
Okay.
So I guess that region will be the Alan Alda region.
That could be the Alan
So we got to go.
region.
We got to pick a character for each one. I have some thoughts.
Okay. I mean, for Seinfeld, you got to go.
Costanza, right?
Yes.
I was going to say, let's go a little off the grid. Can we get a minor character like Newman?
Who?
Newman.
Yeah, Newman be a good one.
Jackie Childs.
There's so many.
The Jackie Childs bracket would be unbelievable.
Yeah, why not? I told you about the ball.
We have to rhyme a lot to do that, though. That's going to be hard. For Simpsons, can we do Milhouse Van Houten, the greatest character of all time?
Sure, everything's called up
Basically,
Milhouse.
Yeah, elementary school version of Andrew Perloff. Ralph
Man,
Wiggum.
does that shoe fit?
Yes,
Or we could just go full Wiggum and do Ralph. Either one is a no-brainer. Cheers.
I'm in danger.
Cliff Clavin.
Cliff Clavin.
Yeah, I'd say Woody just for fun.
Or Norm.
Yeah.
Coach.
Coach.
Cliff Clavin, Jeopardy. I know that's a Peopleati favorite.
Well,
That is.
you could also do Frasier, Dr. Frasier Crane, because that spawned the successful spinoff.
Might be confusing if you make it the Frasier bracket. People won't know what show you're talking about.
That is true. Okay,
and what's the last show? We need a character.
From MASH.
MASH.
Alan
Klinger.
Alda.
Hot Lips.
Yeah.
How is this possible?
Maggie,
You
you're
never
out.
even walked past an episode? I mean,
No,
it
no,
literally
I've seen
dominated
it.
the syndication market for years.
And it was definitely on during a rain delay of some game.
There you go. So those are the top 4 number 1 seeds. It is Seinfeld, it is Simpsons, it is Cheers, and it is MASH. And we will reveal the whole first quadrant for tomorrow. That's going to come your way right about in this hour.
By the way, do you want the top 2 seeds in the bit bracket?
Oh, that's the Bellotti. What does
Bellotti
BIT stand for?
Invitational
That's
Tournament.
The Bellotti Invitational, just the less sad than the NIT.
All played in
Or
Dayton,
the
Ohio.
knit. Or the knit.
So these are you have your own bracket, rogue bracket.
Yes.
But these are not ones that exist in our bracket.
None of these shows are in the 64.
Okay. The official Maggie and Perloff. This is the unofficial bit.
Right, the bit.
The Bellotti Invitation.
In the bit, the top 2 seeds are Three's Company and Full House. And I'm not playing the songs because the only winners get the song. So the winner of the bracket will get the song played in its entirety. So Three's Company and Full House, and Three's Company is the number 1 overall seed.
So, spoiler alert.
Take that, committee.
Three's Company did not make it into the bracket of 64.
Full House did not win the Peabody Awards like The Simpsons did.
Full House there was a lot of conversation about Full House. There was, because me and EJ were like, this belongs in because of cultural significance. This was very big when I was a kid. Perloff said absolutely not. It's a terrible show. It wasn't well written. It's
It's a kid show. Was it even on at night?
Yes.
It was like Friday night at 8 or something.
TGIF, yeah.
Yeah, those are kid shows. Those are Nickelodeon
there
shows.
are other kid shows that are, technically The Simpsons could be a kid show.
No.
Kids can enjoy The Simpsons. That's the brilliance of The Simpsons. The smarter you get as a person, the more funny it is.
The worst written Simpsons was 1,000 times funnier than the best written Full House.
Right.
And Three's Company,
Be that
by the
as
way.
it
That's your
may.
number 1 seed. Three's Company was great, but it was so silly.
But they had so many prominent characters in that show.
They were kind of a one-trick pony.
It made John Ritter.
Yeah. Oh, I love Three's Company.
And it went down a road that really didn't go down.
That's true. It definitely touched on some cultural stuff that we weren't talking about at the time.
Yeah.
Wait,
Like he had to
what?
pretend to be gay to live with the 2 women. And they had to keep up the ruse.
But it's hardly prestige TV. That's my point. It's Three's
it's
Company.
close. I think you're forgetting how popular that show was.
No, but it was silly. It's like so ridiculous.
But it was significant and it was very popular.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Three's Company definitely.
Yeah.
Was that not on our list? Is
Clearly not.
Not there.
Okay, to make the Bellotti Invitational, you have to be off our list of
Not
64.
on the list.
Wow, Three's Company. Okay.
Yeah. And Full House shouldn't be in the 64, but it's not Nickelodeon either.
But go ahead.
Sorry, Maggie, I agree, and Pete, I agree. The cultural significance was there with Full House. No argument there at all.
I could take 4 teams or 4 shows that are on in this bracket, in the 64 bracket, off and put Full House in.
You can take 4 off.
Take 4 off.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, the first quarter quadrant, if you will, of our bracket of 64 gets revealed tomorrow at this time. Bogus is here with headlines. Top that.
You guys discussed this briefly in hour 1. Yankee manager Aaron Boone had a choice in the 7th inning last night. Scoreless game, him against the Red Sox. He could let starter Luis Gil face all-star third baseman Rafael Devers for a third time or go to his bullpen. Boone stuck with Gil, and it did not go well.
Heel rocks, and the 2-2. Fly the other way, it's deep. Verdugo back on the run, near the wall. Gone. Goodbye. Rafael Devers, 1 row deep in left field and breaks the deadlock. He does it to the Yankees again.
Devers hit another solo shot in the 9th inning to cap a 3-0 win in the Bronx. He has 28 career homers against the Yankees, 16 of them at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, great.
The loss means Aaron Boone's team has dropped 16 of 22.
This kind of stretch, you like to weather it a little bit better, which we need to do, obviously. But it's all right there in front of us. We've got a tough road trip coming.
The Yanks play in Tampa Bay, then Baltimore starting tomorrow before the All-Star break. Full All-Star rosters revealed yesterday. And yes, the Phillies lead the way with 7 representatives. Pitchers Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, Matt Strahm, and Jeff Hoffman added to starters Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Alec Boehm.
You can't have an All-Star game without Jeff Hoffman there.
Boehm and Mets first baseman Pete Alonso have joined Orioles shortstop Gunnar Henderson in the home run derby next Monday night in Texas.
Oh, here we go. Pete Alonso again in the home run derby.
It's the only thing he can win.
Him bat 176 in the second half of the year. Mets don't make the playoffs.
Literally never,
Go to the board.
Has he won 1 playoff game, Pete Alonso?
No. No, because they got destroyed.
No, they won one against the Padres.
1 playoff win, 2 home run derby
They
wins.
lost game 1. DeGrom pitched great in game 2, and then they lost the third game because because Scherzer got rocked.
That's right.
Do you think there was any discussion in the Alonso household? Maybe we sit this one out.
No. This is like I said. This is like having a golden retriever as a first baseman. No.
I mean, come on. We've seen this movie before. What's the point?
No chance. It's all about Pete Alonso.
He doesn't drop off that badly after.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 playoff games, 1 win. 2 home run derbies, though. And that cool necklace I'm sure they're going to give him.
He's 2 for 4 in the derby.
No ring.
My God.
And 1 cool song.
Oh, and
it's not even his.
That thing's going to be out there, too. That sign will be with him in Texas next week.
Yeah, not even his song.
Honestly, they should have Iglesias just there for the entertainment, and that's it.
Have him in the home run derby. He doesn't hit home runs anyway. It won't affect the team.
We could lose him.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum will practice with Team USA for the first time today in Vegas. He missed their first 2 sessions, an excused absence for personal reasons. Kevin Durant limited yesterday and Saturday by a sore calf. Steve Kerr calling KD day-to-day ahead of Wednesday's first tune-up against that vaunted Canada squad. The Fightin' Olympics opened the actual Olympics against Greece on the 27th. Giannis and one of his brothers clinched their spot by beating Croatia yesterday 80-69. Spain and Australia also in this group, so it's possible Canada never gets a chance to get Pete's vengeance on Team USA. Alex Bowman won the NASCAR race through the streets of Chicago, clinching his spot in their postseason. And here's a sentence I didn't think I'd ever write/read. Bengals QB Joe Burrow telling Complex Magazine he's learned to play the piano and it's helping his wrist feel better. That wrist ended Burrow's season in November. The piano playing began in the offseason. The wrist feels good now, and Burrow hopes to be very good at the piano by this time next year.
So I think Joe Burrow's probably one of those guys that's kind of good at everything.
Probably.
Those people. It's like, oh, I just picked it up. Like, I just picked up piano, and now it's like sits down at a dinner party and it's Beethoven's Fifth or something.
I think I just learned this. It was like,
let me just serenade everybody with a little.
Jamar Chase is singing.
I wonder if he can play Happy Trails if they get eliminated in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, man.
Oh, Joe Burrow's piano goes on the board.
Cares.
And then I was wondering if this works. Like the NFL and sports in general are such a copycat league. I know that Burrow has this unique injury that not many people have had. But if somehow he has an MVP season, wait. Every quarterback's going to be playing piano.
Was it Joey Harrington was an elite piano player? I know
Yes. That did him well.
Yeah, and Tua's really good at the mandolin. But, I don't. First of all, when you say Joe Burrow's good at everything, what has Joe Burrow ever displayed that he's good at? I know he has a picture of him playing chess in France, and now he says he's playing the piano. Have we ever seen him do anything except play football?
Don't you kind of feel like he's one of those guys, though? Like, I bet
absolutely not.
You don't think he's a good golfer just because?
There is something of him, basketball or baseball in high school. He was good at something else growing up.
Flu.
Did you say flu?
He was an elite French horn player.
I feel like I've seen Joe Burrow dunking or something. Like he
was.
was.
Yeah, but all these guys are amazing at basketball.
So you got to pick a side. You just say he's good at nothing else. I said basketball. Well, everyone's good at basketball.
Well, I mean, Daniel Jones.
Everyone can do that.
Daniel Jones is amazing at basketball. That doesn't mean anything. I just think that I think Joe Burrow is more of a football savant than you realize. Like I don't know that. I think this is
when you discredit everything else, then sure he's a football savant. But you want to know what else he's good at? I gave you basketball. You said no thanks.
Like he's going to be like performing at Carnegie Hall. Have we actually ever seen Joe Burrow do anything except throw a football?
I just get the sense that he's one of those people who it's like, I just took up painting. And then all of a sudden it's like, and here's the Mona Lisa. Or like pottery. And then it's like, here's this beautiful thing. I think you have that elite athleticism / hand-eye coordination / a brain in your head. And I think all those things combine to make you good at stuff.
Joe Burrow was a first-team All-State point guard in high school. That's good at basketball.
It's really good.
And good at football.
Do you know how many?
Smokes a mean cigar. Now he plays the piano. Maggie wins.
Of the 32 starting quarterbacks, do you know how many were All-State basketball players? All of them. Do you know how many got recruited like D1?
Come back tomorrow with proof of that. It's easy for you to say it.
Well, listen, this is one of my wheelhouses. If you name a player, you name a quarterback, I'll tell you exactly how far they were in their basketball career.
Now, you got Russell Wilson, clearly a two-sport player.
Russell Wilson played in Richmond in basketball. He
was
a much better baseball player, but he did play basketball.
Right.
Okay, give me another one.
I'm trying to give you ones I know of already.
Elite D1, heavy D1 recruit. Daniel Jones, D1 recruit. RG3, huge recruit. Go down the list. Of course, anybody currently playing the NFL, I might have a harder time.
I was going to say, RG3.
RG3.
What did Brock Purdy do besides football?
Purdy did play another sport. I think it was baseball or something.
Okay.
But I know the basketball careers because I did a huge piece on SI on how good every quarterback is
right,
at basketball.
So
Burrow's
how does that not count, though? What else has he done? We gave you basketball. You said no thanks.
This renaissance man. I feel like he's just your typical meathead football player.
Really? I don't think so.
Joe Burrow? Totally.
But see, I'm the one who doesn't even think he's picking out his own outfits, and you do.
The fashion thing is bizarre, I admit. But no, I still think at the end of the day, he's Joe Burrow, son of a coach from Ohio.
Yeah, he's not going to be Liberace anytime soon.
Now that would be quite a turn.
I think
the big fancy costumes, amazing.
I do appreciate where you're going. It comes back to our never bet against Joe Burrow theory. I think you put Joe Burrow on this pedestal.
I definitely do. Let's go quickly to the phones. Bogush, thank you. I want to sneak this in because Reed is in Indy, already has a problem with our sitcom bracket because we revealed the top 4 number 1 overall seeds. Reed, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Mags and Purrs? How you guys doing this morning?
We're doing great. What's on your mind?
Okay, upset alert. Upset alert. South Park is going to take over Cheers.
Well, okay, but we haven't told you.
The number 16 seed is going to take over the number 1 seed in Cheers. And you can put that name as Token or Tweaker.
Wait, hold on, Reed. 1 second. I love where your head's at. Thank you for the phone call. South Park is in the bracket of 64. It is definitely not a 16 seed. It is much higher than that.
But I think he's saying eventually could go up against it. When we're getting into the later rounds.
Right. So he thinks that South Park, no matter where it's seated, would just blaze through the bracket.
I mean, there are some big South Park fans been around a long time.
South Park is has got a prominent place in this bracket.
I think we should go with Butters as our character. He's always my favorite. I mean, listen, to me, South Park is the best. There's just, I love South Park. I think kind of most people do, right? Or at least think somewhat positively of it, right?
It's brilliant TV.
It's not my cup of tea, but I get why people love it.
Yeah, it's not Full House.
No.
Did the Beach Boys make an appearance?
Yeah,
They did.
There's no talking cat aliens.
It's not Dave Coulier.
Listen, cut it out. Same book, same page feed. 855-212-4227. Okay, so your number one seeds, Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Cheers, and MASH. We have found out that, yes, South Park is in the bracket. No, Full House is not in the bracket. Three's Company also not in the bracket. 855-212-4227. Coming up, what did Caitlin Clark do over the weekend? We've got it for you.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Oh, man. Everyone's mad at us. And the whole sitcom bracket hasn't even been revealed yet. We're going to start that tomorrow.
I'm getting really nervous right now.
Bogish is mad at us. Bilotti started his own bracket just to spite us.
I think
Manny's disappointed.
Manny doesn't care.
Listen, I got my bigger issues with the Yankees right now.
Good luck with all that. Don't worry, it's going to turn around any day now, according to Aaron Boone.
Sure.
He's been saying that for 5 years.
More like 11.
I think we're going to have to look long and hard after this one is over about our selection committees. Do we expand the group in advance to cut off all the complaints?
You're never going to cut off all the complaints. But, I mean, not getting full house into the bracket of 64, I didn't think would cause this much, consternation. Bogish is mad at us for a whole bunch of reasons, but we can't say what they are yet without revealing more of the 64 bracket.
I think he's mad more at Three's Company than Full House.
He's mad about something else that he thought was criminally underseeded. So we'll find out about that tomorrow.
He was going off about the seating just now.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, take it up with the committee. And I guess that's me and Perloff and EJ. 855-212-422. You can't say like you weren't there. You were there.
I'm on the BIT committee.
The Bilotti Invitational Tournament.
Except that I was all down with Bilotti. Then he goes Full House, 1 seat. I'm like, I'm out again.
See, Perloff is the reason why Full House isn't in the main bracket. He pounded the desk for Full House to not be in the 64.
You got it, dude.
Thank you. See, Manny's watching. Scotty is in Salt Lake City. Has a thought on Caitlin Clark. Had a triple-double, the first rookie to ever do that in the WNBA. What's up, Scotty?
How's it going, Mags and Pearls? It's so nice to hear y'all voice again.
Thanks for making the call. How you doing?
Yeah, for sure. So I was watching that game live against the Liberty, and with all the negativity that Caitlin has taken, it's so nice to see something so clear that she broke the record as a rookie.
Yeah.
She's the first ever, as you stated, is what I was going to say, but I just wanted to restate it, ever as a WNBA rookie to have a triple-double. I mean, are we really going to go into negativity over this? Are we going to find people having jealousy issues again? Are we going to, because Caitlin Clark had a triple-double? I don't know where we're going from this. And then also, I had a question.
Yeah.
On all the sitcoms,
yeah,
all the number one seeds, you named the viewer amount, except for The Simpsons. I'm just curious what their millions were on one of the sitcoms.
Oh, yes, I can tell you. So thank you, Scotty. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get that info for you. Yeah, Pearl.
But we did series finales, and The Simpsons still going on, so we can't do that.
We don't, but I do have season viewership totals for you. If you can just stand by for 1 second, Vamp Pearl.
Wait, I don't understand.
Caitlin Clark, has she lived up to the hype? Yes or no?
You did the finale to Seinfeld, which was famous. You did the finale to Cheers, the finale to MASH, the most famous finale. You can't do anything like that with The Simpsons. You're going to have no number anywhere near that.
I don't have, obviously, a finale for you, but I do have some very impressive average viewer totals. Again, if you just give me a moment.
But also with The Simpsons,
Yeah.
I feel like their success a lot was in syndication rather than in first run.
Well, also, too, because Fox, when they came about, didn't go to 100% of the country. It went to about 80%. So their numbers were always just a little bit down. Right. What do you got, Matt?
Okay, so I can tell you that... average viewers in the millions for The Simpsons. When the first season started in 1989 to 1990, they were averaging 27.8 million viewers, and the most watch episode got 33.5 million viewers.
Right, which back then was good, but that's not top of the line, though, is it? Like ER got 55, I remember, per episode or something.
So that's basically, according to what I'm seeing here, that's about what it was for average viewership.
Pretty good.
Yep.
The funny thing about it is I'm the world's biggest Simpsons fan.
Yeah.
It's going to be my number one seed. I don't watch it anymore. I haven't watched it in years. So you could be a Simpsons fan and have lost track of it. Like, when's the last time anyone saw a live Simpsons episode?
Well, I think the golden era of The Simpsons really was the 90s.
Absolutely.
Not that they're not still putting out good episodes, but no, I do not watch it.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. No other show has lasted that long. It had so many iterations.
Well, since Family Guy, I really kind of stopped watching The Simpsons as far as animated stuff, along with South Park and some others. Okay, 855-212-4227. More on Caitlin Clark, more on the sitcom bracket next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Another record broken by Caitlin Clark. Hey, welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Back from a holiday weekend, and Caitlin Clark making headlines, Pearl. The first ever rookie to have a triple-double in the WNBA.
Does that strike you as odd, by the way? There's never been, like, what the heck? Has any rookie ever done anything in WNBA? Like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are just traipsing in and breaking out. It's like, the first rookie to score 16 points. Like, what the heck has happened to rookies? Like,
you know, it does make
where's Diana Taurasi?
Well, it does make her, you know, sort of. I don't want to say her advice to Caitlin Clark, but her sort of warning, like, hey, this is going to be a tough league to walk into. Kind of makes you understand where she was coming from. Apparently, this is really hard for rookies to come in and make their mark in the WNBA.
Diana Taurasi never had a triple-double her rookie season? That's insane.
Well, no, because Caitlin Clark is the first. And so not only is she the first, how about this? Not only is she the first rookie to have a triple-double, she's also the first member of the Indiana Fever to ever have a triple-double. Like, that part I thought was really shocking, too. I had to read it like 3 different times. Like, ever in the franchise? Meanwhile, so she's making history. Angel Reese also making some history, Pearl, because her record of double-doubles is now being set as the rookie record. So, you know, you got the 2 rookies who are coming in really hyped. Caitlin, obviously, number 1, and then Angel as well. And they're both sort of delivering in the early part of the season. What we're asking you is, has Caitlin Clark delivered on the hype so far? We're almost about halfway through the season. All-Star break's coming up for the WNBA on July 20th.
Right, and so we put a poll out. There was a lot of expectations. And I think I fell into the category where I thought she would really score at a high level like she did in college. And she is. I guess I didn't understand how hard it really, she is a rookie. This is a different level of defense. I'm a little disappointed in her scoring, but overall very impressed with her point guard game. I mean, she's an incredible passer. She was a great passer at Iowa. It's really showing up in the WNBA. But I am a little disappointed with her shooting.
So she's averaging like in the low 30s on her 3-point shots, and she's averaging like basically kind of high 30s for overall field goal percentage,
which is not good. That's definitely bad. She was a 45% shooter in college, which wasn't perfect either. The elite players obviously shoot close to 50%, but this has been tough. I watched the game on Saturday, and she's taking very hard shots, Maggie. I mean, she's trying to do what she did in college, the logo threes, and they're just her looks are not good. And she keeps on, since the team's not great, she can fire those up. So that part's a little disappointing, and I think that'll come. I don't love the way the team plays. I don't love the offense. I'm not sure I'm sold on that coach. Again, maybe my expectations were too high. She's very, very, very good. I still think there's so much untapped potential.
Definitely. I mean, so here's the thing. It would almost be impossible for her to deliver on the overwhelming amount of hype that she had coming into the WNBA. Like, I don't know if that was ever going to happen. And I would say that she's maybe falling short a little bit of it just for the reasons that you said, because it hasn't been the logo threes. However, I'd like to leave some room here that seems like she and the team have gotten better and better, as you would expect from a young team. She's definitely an all-star. And not just her, but there's 3 members of the Indiana Fever, including Caitlin, who are all-stars this year. And I think that if we revisit this question at the end of the season, has she lived up to the hype? I bet she has. Meanwhile, the poll results are overwhelming right now. If you want to go on X and you can vote at Maggie and Pearl, we asked you, has Caitlin Clark lived up to the hype? And the responses have been flooding in. Right now, 86% of you say, yes, she has. So, it's interesting to me.
Yeah, maybe I set my bar a little too high. It's, you said it. She's an all-star. Like, what do we expect? This is kind of like, it reminds me of when LeBron came in the NBA. Like, he immediately lived up to the hype. He was a little younger than Caitlin.
He wasn't an all-star, though, his rookie year. Isn't that crazy?
Right. Didn't he score 20 points a game or?
About, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you could see it was there. And I guess that's true for Caitlin Clark, too. Yes, she's lived up to the hype. Man, I want to see more. I think we're going to see more at some point. It's not that easy. The one thing about the Fever, they've drafted number 1 overall 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Like, we need to see that team get good. So that's part of it. You've always said at a certain point, not that we'll get tired of Caitlin, but we have to see her in a finals.
In a meaningful game. I don't know if it's a finals necessarily right now.
But eventually a finals. Don't we?
Definitely.
I mean, for her to meet the overall hype, like, she's got to win a title.
Definitely. This is all great players go through this, right? That's like the badge of honor, is saying that you have to win a title to live up to your expectations. Right now, if the season ended today, Fever would be a 7 seed. So they would make the playoffs, and the Sky would be an 8 seed. So you'd have both teams make the playoffs.
Right, but what are their records?
Not great. 9-13 and 8-12.
Yeah. We'll see. It is going to be an exciting All-Star weekend. I mean, overall, by the way, do you think the WNBA season has lived up to the hype? Because to me, definitely. Like, anyone who said that ratings bump was not going to be there coming from the college success, they were wrong. I think WNBA has had a wonderful year.
Yep, I agree with you. I think overall, like, the league has met the moment. Is I think what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep, I think so. Let's hear a little from Caitlin Clark, can we, Pete? When she realized, first, the crowd reaction to her record-breaking triple-double.
I honestly wasn't, too aware, but, I think everybody was a little confused as to why they were going so nuts over a rebound. I mean, they can do that every time, I guess, but it was a little different.
And also, Caitlin, when she realized she had recorded the triple-double.
Well, I was trying to get the crowd to be quiet because I think it was Aaliyah was shooting a free throw, or somebody was shooting a free throw, and I was like, I appreciate it, but obviously it's really cool. My teammates have been finishing the ball really, really at a high rate. My assist numbers, that's because of them. Just finding them in positions to be successful, whether it's AB, whether it's Liz. I thought we've done a really good job of that, and but yeah, I guess it's cool.
I mean, she has not lost her understatedness, There is nothing that has become diva about Caitlin Clark at all, Records. But they won the game, more importantly, and that was a comeback win over the New York Liberty, where they had gotten smoked by New York in the last couple meetings, Pearl, and then they had a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter. They end up winning the game. So slowly sort of turning the tide here. And again, you can go vote on X. Has Caitlin Clark lived up to the hype?
Yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes next. Mike plan again, move her to shooting guard. This is not going over well on the internet. Some people agree with me, some people don't. The assists are nice. Let's drop a 40 bomb. Let's start going Steph Curry on them. I mean, what's her who's her comp now? She's been more of a true point guard than Steph Curry. Steph Curry runs around wild off the ball. She's not doing that. She's a great passer. I just don't know. I want to see her just draining threes, and we haven't quite seen that yet.
855-212-4227. You're welcome to weigh in on the question, has Caitlin Clark lived up to the hype? All right, now something I wasn't sure was going to live up to the hype was the Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket. This is our chance to determine the greatest sitcom of all time. And we're putting this bracket style. We announced the top 4 number 1 seeds. So we're doing this just like the NCAA tournament. So the 4 1 seeds are Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Cheers, and MASH. So those are the top 4 number 1 seeds. Tomorrow we will reveal the first quarter of the bracket. And Pete's mad. He's got his own rogue bracket just because he's so mad. Bogish is mad at us. Manny's a little agnostic because he's a little too young for sitcoms.
Yeah, I got The Office and Friends. That's all I got. Those are my favorites. I'm out.
Spoiler, both of those did make the bracket of 64, so you're good.
Look, I have some taste.
Three's Company did not, which has been controversial around here. Full House did not. And those are the only 2 snubs we're giving you right now.
Those are the number 1 seeds in the bit bracket.
Bit, that would be the Bilotti Invitational Tournament.
Who did you like more, Norman Fell or the other guy, Furley?
Mr. Roper?
Yeah, as Don Knotts.
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts,
Yeah.
the 2 Threes Company side characters.
Yeah, Don
So it was
Knotts.
Mr. Roper, and he had a spin-off, The Ropers, and Don Knotts.
I didn't like the Ropers. I like Don Knotts.
Remember he used to wear those scarves?
Ascots.
Ascots.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I guess it's the same. I
Yeah.
don't really know.
Just the whole plot of Three's Company. Can we just state for anyone who doesn't know what the show is, what the actual plot was, Pete?
Yeah, it was a guy trying to share rent basically with 2 girls.
And how did he do this?
By saying he was gay.
Yeah. Because, like, this is like was this set in the 70s or 80s? Three's Company.
Late 70s.
Late 70s. So, like, the idea of a single man living with 2 women would have been taboo. So they had to pretend that he was gay.
But the thing about it was, like, basically half the jokes were about Suzanne Summers' boobs. That was like 70% of the humor.
Her name was Chrissy Snow. Christmas Snow.
It was not high level comedy. It was
she
not
was kind of like the
Shakespearean.
bimbo, right?
Yes. Like the opening scene, Jack is riding on a bike and he's turning around to look at some woman's butt and he falls off the bike. Like, this is not like this is.
Like it's a bad thing, Pearl. I mean,
I'm just saying, I'm
the
not
70s.
sure from a critical standpoint that Pete is taking the true genius sitcoms, that he's going Full House and Three's Company is his number 1 seed.
I think the genius is John Ritter.
He was great in that.
That's the genius right there. And
Love
I think,
John Ritter.
And I think 8 Simple Rules is another show that he did that was excellent.
Is that when he died? It was during 8
Yeah.
Simple Rules? That was so sad.
So it's also another spoiler, 8 Simple Rules did not make the bracket of 64.
Did not.
Did that make your Bilotti Invitational?
Well, there's the back end of the Bilotti Invitational is kind of, there's a couple things I'm kind of
still
tinkering with.
Okay.
So it might make it, but not sure. Right now, no.
Still got a couple conference tournaments
That's
to
right.
play out?
We're still playing the a couple of tournaments.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Conference USA has yet to name a champion. So
Right.
Yeah, got to get the A10 too.
You guys got to pull up the opening of the Three's Company. It really is. Jack is riding a bike and he does a 360 to look at this hot woman who passes him and falls off his bike. Then the next scene, the brunette roommate is throwing some water out the window and it lands on Chrissy, who's wearing a bikini. Just sitting there. It's just a full bathing suit shot. This
Great
is
show.
the shallowest show of all time.
Just hijinks. I mean, So there you
Oh
go.
my gosh! Back then, do you guys remember Battle of the Network Stars, where basically it was
Yes.
all organized to put Suzanne Summers in a bathing suit on TV?
I'm surprised they had to make it like even a premise to get her in the bathing suit. Just put in this day and age, just put her in the bathing suit and start shooting the camera.
All right, I'm in. Three's Company number 1 seed, Bilotti Invitational.
That's right.
Maybe this must be where the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue was like, I wonder if we could make something out of this. Like,
Yes, I mean back.
women in bikinis.
It really was a different time, Maggie. It was. I bet you if we look back at some of the sitcoms on this bracket, the jokes they said would not translate to today.
Well, probably not. 855-212-4227. So that's just a little taste of what's going to be happening over the next week. It's the Maggie Perloff sitcom bracket. We're still going to do plenty of sports as well. And speaking of that, we do have an update on Dak Prescott, the Cowboys quarterback, seen in a walking boot, now out of the boot. So what the heck is going on with his right foot? We'll get to that. It's Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
from Andrew Perloff's Skyline Top 10 Moments from Andrew Perloff's Skyline Chili Bet Payoff. Number 10.
With the cheese, he is very delicately breaking the film.
Number 9.
There is juice cascading off his nose.
It's good.
Number 8.
All the way in. Oh, we have spaghetti. He has found the pasta.
Number 7.
Big bite. Oh, that's a lot of pasta.
You're really getting in there.
Number 6.
Why I didn't.
There we go. Slurping sound.
Good slurping.
Number 5.
Oh.
Number 4.
Oh my God.
That was a full open mouth tongue scoop of pasta. This
Number
is
3.
friendship. Oh, it's like he's a 4-year-old.
Number 2.
A bowl of chili anymore. Oh, our first rip of pasta.
And the number 1 moment from Andrew Perloff's Skyline Chili Bet Payoff.
Noises as we gobble up. Oh, now it's over.
Top 10 moments.
Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff. Man, we're getting so distracted by this sitcom bracket. I feel like every break we're going over because we're debating this show versus that show.
It's our sitcom bracket. Yeah. We're the ones who created it.
But even after we created it, like the argument still goes on. We had a lot of arguments creating the bracket, which will come out tomorrow officially. It is tough because 64 sounds like a lot. It's not. Like good shows are going to be left off of this, especially if you expand what's a sitcom. A lot of debate. is a animated show, a sitcom? I believe so. Is a show that's more like a film, like Atlanta, for example. Is that a sitcom? A lot of discussion about that. It's going to be a fun bracket. And, of course, you will be a huge part of that. You're going to be able to vote tomorrow on X. We revealed our number one seeds. Can we say what they were? What were they, Maggie?
Okay, so the top 4 number one seeds again, if you're just joining us for the Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket as decided by us, the committee, me, Perloff, EJ. Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Cheers, and MASH. Those are your top 4 number one seeds. It's your Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Gonzaga, Kentucky. Whatever.
I don't think MASH is going to win, but I think I could easily see Seinfeld winning it all. I could easily see Cheers winning it all. And I could easily see Simpsons winning it all.
I think that Seinfeld has gone through a little bit of a swoon. I don't think it's as popular. I know, like, it's on Netflix now, and
really, oh my god, I feel like Seinfeld stands the test of time. Like, I've seen it recently. Like, those jokes are still funny. Cheers, not as much. Cheers,
Manny,
I don't think translates as well.
I don't see a lot of Cheers around. Manny, you're the youngest person here today.
That's right.
Seinfeld person or no?
No, I tried. I really tried. Swung and missed.
Couldn't get into it.
No.
Yada, 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 not for you.
Watched a couple episodes. Wasn't for me. Maybe season, 75 or whatever. Maybe that was a little bit better than season 1. But, I tried, but I couldn't.
You started with season 1? What a terrible mistake.
How else are you supposed to start a TV show?
You never start with season 1.
Season 1 is awesome.
Oh, I don't think season 1 is good.
Well, you see, now,
Like the 4-episode arc where they... Even the first episode is amazing, I thought.
I think it's dated.
Wow, wait to watch Cheers. If you want to see dated, have you ever seen Cheers, man? Because you would be like, what is going on here?
No.
Yeah. I think Seinfeld is way more modern than Cheers and MASH, for example. Like,
well, obviously. One takes place in the Vietnam War, so definitely it's more modern. But the other...
Korean War.
Korean War, sorry. It wasn't the Vietnam War? Oh, I'm so sorry. I told you guys I'd never seen it, and you guys...
We have to watch Maggie on these older shows.
Hold on. I said I've never seen MASH, and you guys, you're lying. You just don't remember. I honestly thought it was the Vietnam War.
What happens when you're watching something? Funny. What happens when you watch something and they make a reference to MASH? Does it just go right over your head?
No, I get it. I get the gist. It's
that you clearly don't. You just said it was a Vietnam War.
Oh.
And I would have lost money with you, Maggie.
You thought it was a Vietnam War?
100%.
See?
100%.
Oh, okay, so you don't know. You guys don't know what happened to Colonel Henry Blake and all that? Died over the Sea of Japan?
No, I was not into that show, too. I know what it is, but
I don't.
It's pretty old.
I think this is what goes to show how our bracket is actually very representative of the true landscape of sitcoms, because I don't even know what they are, but I know enough to know that MASH was a huge cultural phenomenon. I gave you the particulars before. 125 million viewers watched the finale, which was 2.5 hours long.
But you say that like you're, listing a historical fact that you read in a history book, not that you have any actual experience with the show.
Well, I don't, but 125 million people tuned in. I get that it was important. I'm not naive to that.
But how could you guys have not seen these old shows? Like, I wasn't around for the Andy Griffith show, but of course I've seen it. I wasn't around for the Dick Van Dyke show, but of course I've seen it.
It kind of depends what was getting fed to you.
But I feel like younger people have no idea what came before. Like Manny, for example. Like, you have no idea what Seinfeld is. Like, I feel like I knew what the fifth I Love Lucy. I know what that is. And
right. I've heard of these shows, but it's just not for Manny.
Yeah, there you go.
I think the one thing that was big with a lot of these shows in our time was they had Nick at Night and it just started, and you saw a lot of these things get played back.
Yeah,
especially I Love Lucy, especially Dick Van Dyke, especially Mary Tyler Moore. They got replayed.
Bewitched, Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
I know MASH is on TV land. Like, out of the 24 hours in the day, probably 27 of them, MASH is on TV land all day long. But, I know some of these shows. It's just not for me.
By the way, have you ever tried to scroll through cable lately? Oh. It is a wasteland.
Also, everything's on a commercial. Like, oh, I like this movie. And then it's like 90% commercials. You ever notice that on cable?
Yes.
Yeah, so every show is structured the same way. Yeah. Just yesterday, I was sitting in bed and at 9:43 a.m.,
mm-hmm.
every single half-hour show that was on was in commercial.
Yeah, that's what happens to me. Every time I'm flipping around, if there's a game and it's between innings, flipping around is useless. You're just getting commercials.
Okay, so I went on vacation for a couple days. I told you guys. Bogus, thank you for filling in on Wednesday. And so we're in hotel rooms, me, my husband, and my 5-year-old kid. And he saw Up. We had to put the TV on because he was still waking up early. So we put the TV on for him to buy ourselves a little bit more time in the morning. So the next day, he's like, I want to watch the balloons. I'm like, well, we can't. He's like, well, just start it. Like, well, we don't have. He doesn't understand the concept of you just watch whatever's on.
That's funny.
Yeah, he just wants to start it. He wants to start from the beginning. He lives an on-demand world, just like Manny.
I can't be in the room for that scene, by the way. I will lose it. The opening scene of Up. Oh,
that is
God.
not a children's movie.
We get now. We're fast forwarding to the part after when they're already on the journey.
Oh, okay.
I was starting to cry in Inside Out.
If you don't cry at Inside Out, you're not a human. You're actually a robot. Inside Out 1 or 2? Because I cried hard at both.
1. My son was watching it, and I was watching with him.
Toughen up, Dad.
What is this?
I was watching Euro Cup coverage this weekend, and one of the announcers, Robbie Keane, was his cohorts, and it was a panel of 4. We're all making fun of him because he was bawling his eyes out at Inside Out 2 the night before the game. It is.
Or watching the U.S. men's team.
Oh, if you don't cry at Inside Out and Up, then we're not going to be friends.
I bawled my eyes out during Frozen 2 when Olaf melted.
Spoiler.
But he comes back.
He comes back.
Olaf was coming back, huh?
Earmuffs.
I mean, he just turns into water, and then he reconstitutes as a...
Right. Well, I got very upset.
I was telling you that I had a celebrity sighting when I was in Cape Cod, and one of those, the movie that this person was in, I cry like a baby every time I see it.
Hardball.
Cool Runnings. The end of Cool Runnings when they carry the sled over the finish line.
Who'd you see, Dougie Doug?
No, Yul Brenner.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Why?
He's not Cool Running.
He is cool
No,
running.
he's not John Candy. You're in the sled. It doesn't count.
It's Malik Yoba. He's in the sled.
No, it's Dougie Doug and it's John Candy. Those are the only.
Well, if I saw John Candy,
I know.
might be in some
So
trouble.
you got Dougie Doug, and that's it. That's all that's left.
There's nothing left.
No.
And we're
Sorry.
sure Dougie Doug's alive.
He's in New York Undercover. Does that count for anything?
Yeah, Maggie said that to me, and I said, "What's New York Undercover? Is that like a tourist ride?" She's like, it's like NYPD Blue Light.
Right.
Well, anyway.
Dougie Doug's doing fine, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Everyone's feverishly Googling here to make sure he's alive.
Yeah, that was not cool what I just said about Dougie Doug. So you cried more at Cool Runnings than Field of Dreams? Is that what we're saying here? I get it. Sports movies make me, are
Rudy,
good crier.
I cry in all.
Oh, Rudy, are you kidding me?
Up though is
Up's designed to make
but then you get over it real fast. It's short.
Here's a good one. I cried during the end of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I get it.
I'll cry right now. I can cry on demand thinking about when they're walking down the street holding the chest. Oh, give me a moment here.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who did you say you saw from Cool Runnings?
Malik Yoba?
Oh, okay. All right. You confused me for a second. Still, it doesn't count.
He's the one who wants to live at Buckingham Palace.
No, I know. You said Yul Brenner, and I was thinking of Yul, like the actual Yul, like old bald actor, and I'm like, he's in Cool Runnings.
No, that's
I
his
forgot that isn't that
name.
character. But still, I stand by my. You see Dougie Doug, or you saw nobody from Cool Runnings.
No, the real Yul Brenner
is like an old
is an old actor who was like in the Ten Commandments and stuff.
I know, that's where I went first. I forgot that there was a character in the movie.
Yeah, no, Yul Brenner.
Yeah,
has
Yul
been,
Brenner's
has
one
been
of like the
dead
10
for
most
many,
famous
many,
actors
many
of all
I
time.
know. That's why I didn't. Is Cool Runnings?
I didn't know he was Russian born. He's been dead since 1985. May he rest in peace.
No, I just thought you were my wife who like thinks that the best Ray Liotta movie is Corinna or like
No.
Yes.
Oh, right. That I thought Yul Brenner had some kind of cameo in Cool Runnings.
Right.
What year was Cool Runnings?
93.
So Yul Brenner was dead.
No.
93.
Yul Brenner, King and I, Magnificent Seven.
I was thinking King and I.
He was fantastic. Westworld, one of the best.
Cool Runnings was one of the last John Candy movies. I don't know if it was the last one, but Wagons East, I think, was the last one.
I think he might have died in the filming of that. No.
Yeah.
Where
didn't
were
see
we?
that left turn coming.
Sorry.
By the way, bogus, the excitement level. Maggie's like, I had a celebrity sighting. She's like, I'm like, who? She's like, Malik Yoba.
I mean, I'm impressed that you knew who he was.
We could walk down the street right now, outside the studio right now.
Be filling in for
we
EJ.
can find 3 more famous celebrities on the walk to the subway. I guarantee Paul Rudd's probably outside right now.
Yes.
Bradley Cooper,
He
I
is.
know as a fact, is 2 blocks away.
Bridget Moynihan's around here all the time.
Where?
John Slattery.
John Slattery is in the lobby.
It's the Megan Rapinoe Sue Bird power couple that's always walking down the street.
I mean, Malik might have been more excited to meet you than you seeing him.
So we had the classic question: do you go up to the person? Say we're on the next table at the restaurant. Do you go up to the person and say,
at a restaurant?
You were in one of my favorite movies.
Everyone is seated and he's like in the middle of his meal. Like
Yes.
they're not walking by him.
No. And my husband said, absolutely not.
I agree.
Absolutely.
It depends upon the timing. Depends on what they're doing.
He's like,
what's
he's
happening.
engaged in a conversation. He was him in a group of like 6 women. They look like family members maybe or something. Intimate, like they knew each other. It didn't seem like a business deal.
With all due respect, looking at his IMDb page, he wants you to go recognize him.
I thought he might get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Actually, no. When I pulled him up, he's in everything. This guy is very recognizable.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know he's a
Because you've seen Baselines or Terror Lake Drive.
Oh,
Those are his two of his most recent credits.
No, he's had a good career. I agree, but he's a character actor. He's that guy in that thing, which is
Not
cool.
to me. This is the movie, one of my big cry movies.
Did you know his name when he was sitting at the table across?
I didn't. My husband did.
Yeah, he's a great character actor. That's a good sign when you don't know his real name.
Kaplan's in our chat said, yes, it would have made his night. It's not Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Right about that.
Man, worked with Robert De Niro, maybe.
Did your husband challenge him to a sled race since he's so competitive?
Feel the rhythm? No. I don't think my husband's seen Cool Runnings.
I saw something. It's now uncool to ask a celebrity for a photo. Somebody said a grown man should not ask another man to pose in a photo.
That's ridiculous.
You want to take a picture later, Perloff?
No.
And also, how dare you?
Because LeBron said, this happened about 2 weeks ago, LeBron would not take a photo with a man, and the man put out the actual live location where you can find LeBron on like a Tuesday morning.
Oh, that's weird, though.
Yeah,
if
no,
someone
that
says
is
no
weird.
to you, they have the right to say no.
Yeah, LeBron has every right to say no to it because
Absolutely.
he's got so many requests. I tend to think, like I'm just going to leave these guys alone.
I actually I sided LeBron in this one.
Big time.
Wow.
Do you think that Bronny would have stopped for the photo?
He would have. He would have.
If
I bet
LeBron
Bronny
was
would've.
with Bronny, then he would have stopped and there would have been 3 people in the photo.
But by himself, he would have.
I bet he would too.
Maggie's good at going up to celebrities.
No, I don't go up to them. I just say something to them. Like, hey, great season.
That's kind of going up to them.
Well, I'm not stopping them.
So how do you say that? Like, they just happen to be walking by you in the bathroom line and you say, hey, nice triple-double the other night.
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of go up to them.
Well, the last couple I haven't. I was walking by DJ LeMahieu, and I said, hey, great season, but
Yes,
that was like not
great
true.
season.
I know. I didn't have anything else to say.
Hey, 2019 was great, dude.
Wait, way to get paid off that 60-game season. Nice job out of you.
Great season.
Jameson Tyone.
Did you tell him great season?
What are you in the Yankee clubhouse? What's going on? Are you a groupie? What do you don't understand?
We're all in the club.
I saw her go up to Tobias Harris and say, I saw you play. I covered you in high school.
But
That's
I
a good
actually had a
one.
connection.
Yes.
He remembered the game, too.
Yeah. He's gigantically tall, by the way. I noticed that when Maggie was standing next to him.
I did go up to Billy King.
Billy King,
Who's
the
it?
former GM.
Okay.
Great trade.
Go Nets.
You didn't say anything to Bobby Flay when you walked by
I did
outside,
not say
right?
anything to Bobby Flay. I didn't say anything to Rapinoe and Sue Bird.
That would have been hard. Those
I'm not
people
going to
are.
stop them.
Yeah, okay. So if you're at an event, you'll talk to them. I will not talk to anybody. I've decided I'm out on celebrities. I see them all the time in my neighborhood. I've never stopped them, never say anything.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm being dead serious here. I think
At some point, you are going to say something to Juwan Howard.
Nope.
You
I
will.
see him every day. We'll never say anything to him.
You're going to say
You're
something.
gonna.
You're not going to be able to help it one day.
What you should do is cross him over.
Yes.
Walk over and
Oh,
just
just
do a
the
little
fake?
right between.
With your Dartmouth jersey
That's
on.
a good. Usually, Juwan Howard take out an assistant coach from Wisconsin. That's a good way to get punched in the face.
Or just shoot right in his face.
I gotta
Give him a
tell you.
hand down, man down.
He gives off.
Two-Ton Tony said Perloff's a liar.
He gives off a vibe. Juwan Howard gives off a vibe like he is like prime Miami Heat playoff series. Like, do not talk to me. He's scary looking. I'm sorry, his face is like permanently. Do not approach me.
Like, he looks around, it's just a bunch of Roy Hibberts.
When you're a celebrity, I have imagination. You can put yourself in a face that says, "Don't approach me," unless you're LeBron.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I've seen that face before on certain celebrities.
Yes, right?
It was Mike Tyson coming back on an early flight out of Las Vegas. and he was in the window side, and his guy next to him, and it was just like, don't say anything.
I imagine Rapinoe and Bird had to have their head down because they can't.
They were fine.
Oh, really? Because I think too many people would go up to them. No.
Maybe they like that.
Well, and also I have a celebrity experience where I'm still petrified of it to this day. Is the Paul Rudd experience I had in New York City.
Well, that's famous.
I mean, that's amazing, though. But that wasn't your fault. Like, you weren't asking for that.
Well, I'm on the phone with insurance. I can't even say hello to the guy. My window's smashed, and he said, "Oh, where's this guy? Where's the guy that had his car smashed?" I'm inside talking to insurance, giving my phone number. It's ridiculous.
He caught you in a bad moment.
Yeah.
That's when someone who was mentally unhinged put a garbage can through
my windshield. That's right. One of the best moments of my career here.
It was J.J. Redick.
Or Marash.
Blaming J.J. Redick.
That's a guy, by the way, I saw on the street pretty much 4 days a week with J.J. Redick. Never went up to him. I would have said to him, JJ, are you going to play Bronny?
How many minutes are you going to play Bronny in 5 years when you're coaching the Lakers? I bet that would have got his attention. Bogus has headlines.
Pete was hoping that Uruguay could upset U.S. men's basketball at some point in Paris, but Uruguay continues to focus on soccer, so did not qualify for these Olympics. South Sudan is in the same group as the U.S., so maybe that's your upset pick. Nothing will be easy in France, says Steve Kerr.
FIBA's tough. We all know that. So our big thing is taking this talent and helping them figure out how to be a team.
The U.S. will also have to deal with Puerto Rico and Serbia in group play. That means a Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic showdown early in those Olympics.
Wow. Fighting Sudans. Let's go.
Team US.
Who's on this team?
Who? South Sudan?
Yeah, South Sudan. I'm trying to look at the. I'm looking at trying to find the roster here.
I think the coach is a high school coach in New Jersey, or at least he's involved in it.
Is that right?
Yes. There's going to be a couple of names that you're going to remember.
They have a nickname. They're called the Bright Stars. All right, keep going. I'll see if I can find out.
Okay. Team USA continues to prep in Vegas. Jason Tatum will be on the court for the first time today following an excused absence. Kevin Durant being called day-to-day with a sore calf. He has not done any full-court 5-on-5 work during the first 2 days of this camp. The Red Sox hit 3 solo homers over their last 3 at-bats, 2 of them from Rafael Devers to win Yankee Stadium last night 3-0. Juan Soto's team remains in free fall, now losers of 16 of 22.
We all know about baseball. It's just part of the game. It all depends how you get out of it, how you take it every day and come back the next day.
The good thing is they can't lose today. They don't play. The Yanks are still 18 games over 500, just 3 back of the Orioles in the AL East. They play in Baltimore this weekend. All-star rosters completed yesterday, which means we have snubs this morning. O's third baseman Jordan Westburg, Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo of the Mets, Arizona first baseman Christian Walker, and Boston closer Kenley Jansen on that list.
Christian Walker did not make the team?
No. Because Pete Alonso did.
That's ridiculous. And Pete Alonso, I mean, this is not his best year either. I mean,
he's also, I think, 3 times now. He probably didn't deserve to be on any of the 3. Meanwhile, Nimmo and Lindor can't pay their way onto this thing.
Right.
People do not like Nimmo running to first base, it seems.
Totally ridiculous.
What's Lindor hitting again?
Lindor and Nimmo, for whatever you want, are in the top 3, top 5 of all the advanced numbers at their positions and overall.
I tell you, I would have taken, if you had to pick a Met, I would have taken Severino, but they picked about 15 Phillies relievers.
Yeah, Trey Turner's not an all-star. He hasn't played enough games this year. He should not be in the all-star game.
The fact, I mean, just the New York influence on the media that Francisco Lindor is making all-star snub list at a 250. Come on.
He would have been on my list. He would not have been on my list.
Yeah, because
He's
Jeff Hoffman has to be.
Yeah.
Who you didn't even know until 2 days ago.
Let's go Pete Hoffman.
Honestly, the number of middle relievers on both All-Star teams says something to me. That's how you get paid in this league.
Angel Reese, 17 points and 14 rebounds in Chicago's 84-71 loss in Seattle yesterday, but she did break her tie with Candace Parker for the longest double-double streak in WNBA history, now at 13 games. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins reportedly close on a new contract, with the all-timer wanting to play his entire career in Pittsburgh. Earlier reports had this deal in the neighborhood of 3 years and $30 million. Crosby about to turn 37. Novak Djokovic and American Taylor Fritz on the center court schedule today as the fourth round continues at Wimbledon. Fritz meeting fourth-seed Alex Zverev before Djokovic takes on Holger Rune. And Davis Thompson has his first PGA Tour win, taking the John Deere Classic yesterday by 4 shots. Maggie?
Okay, little update for you on the South Sudan men's basketball team. The head coach is Royal Ivy.
Oh,
From
wow.
Texas,
Royal
right?
Ivy.
Kevin Durant's best friend, right? And one of the assistant coaches is Lou Aldeng.
Oh, wow.
Any NBA players?
I
on
didn't
there?
recognize a lot of the players.
What are you talking about? You didn't recognize Bol?
Oh,
Is
Bol
Bol
Bol's
Bol
on the team?
there?
Thon Maker apparently is on
Oh,
this
my God.
preliminary roster.
They're my pick.
Maker.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup
JT
roster.
Thor. Come on, you guys remember JT Thor, the 6'9" man out of for the Charlotte Hornets?
No, I don't remember him.
Well,
I remember Thor, the movie Thor.
Right.
No, different guy. Different guy.
Are we sure?
Thon Maker, kind of drafted too high, I think.
Thon Maker now plays in Beirut. Plays in Lebanon.
Heck of a team they got this year.
There's
Yeah.
your update. There's your update on Thon Maker.
10th overall pick, 2016. Didn't work out for the Bucks.
855-212-4227. You heard the little bit of Seinfeld music there. That is in honor of the Maggie and Perloff sitcom bracket. 64 sitcoms. We are going to, and you are going to determine a winner of the greatest sitcom of all time.
And hopefully it won't tear apart the show, tear apart the country, tear apart our audience. Feels like this could be quite a destructive discussion.
This is just day one this is happening.
Yeah, people, we don't even have the bracket out, and people are throwing things around the office.
Very mad. But we did give you the top 4 number 1 overall seeds: Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Cheers, and MASH. So there you go. We will reveal 1/4 of the bracket tomorrow. We will be. I actually can tell you which quarter we're going to be revealing. The Seinfeld quarter,
which we've named the Jackie Chow's bracket.
which is
right?
now the Jackie Chow bracket. There you go.
I like that.
855-212-4227. All right, you can watch the show, youtube.com/InfinitySportsNet, twitch.tv/InfinitySportsNetwork, and now we are streaming on X. Go to @MaggieGray. That's where you can see our live stream. Okay, so much more to do, including we get to the latest with Dak Prescott and his ankle. We also have just a list we do not agree with, and it has to do with celebrity NFL fans. We'll get to that next. It's Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Believe Bilatti's got something to say. Infinity's mice. He's feeling the dismay. No NBA on NBC.
4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Just JJ Redick's wine ain't the same. Peter Bellotti is getting upset. Maggie Perloff, can you hear this plea? Bring back the NBA on NBC. Set his spirit free. He misses Co-stars and the crew. Those were the days. Pete cries out, boo, boo. Bring it back, oh can't you see? Bring back the NBA on NBC. Let it be. Pete's mad, he's feeling sad. Bring it back, oh make it right. Believe Bilatti's got something to say. Infinity's mice. He's feeling the dismay.
Andrew Perloff, he's got an ankle that's tricky. Milky white, it hurts sometimes, it's quite picky. Bug bites here and there, make it itch and twitch. Got him looking like he's doing a funny little hitch. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. His ankle's like a magnet for every bug in town. Mosquitoes have a party, won't leave him alone now. Red and bumpy, itching all night long. Andrew's ankle's got a bitey little song. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. His ankle's like a magnet for every bug in town. Mosquitoes have a party, won't leave him alone now. Red and bumpy, itching all night long. Andrew's ankle's got a bitey little song. Oh, Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. If you see him scratching, don't worry, he's alright. Just fending off the bug bites, they're pesky and they bite. It's got rhythm and soul, it's a star in the making. Andrew's ankle, the legend's awakening. Perloff's ankle, what a show you put on. Twisting and turning from dusk till dawn. We laugh and we cheer as you do your dance. Andrew's ankle, you never miss a chance. So here's to Perloff and his ankle so spry. Covered in bug bites, still reaching for the sky. We'll watch out every step that you take. Andrew's ankle, you're the best, for goodness sake.
1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Sitcom bracket tomorrow. We'll reveal the first quadrant, if you will. But that's not the only thing that's getting people upset around here. We revealed our number one seed, Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Cheers, and MASH. We'll reveal the Seinfeld bracket, quarter of the bracket tomorrow around 8:30 Eastern time. But Perloff, you are also upset by another list that was making its rounds. The sitcom bracket we created. Yeah. This was a Maggie and Perloff with EJ special, but this was another list that someone else created that had you really upset.
So this is a Yahoo Sports list of the most famous celebrity fan. It's actually an older list that's just making the rounds right now on the Twitters.
Celebrity NFL fans.
Celebrity NFL fans. You want me to run down the controversial ones or just go team by team? How should we do this?
Why don't you give us one that makes a lot of sense so you kind of get it? This isn't just a totally whack job list. Like some of these are right on. Like, for example, Eminem.
Detroit Lions,
right.
Eminem.
That makes sense.
Philadelphia Eagles, Bradley Cooper. He's at every game. It's like the cheerleader. So those two make sense.
And Taylor Swift now for Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that.
I know.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Who's she dating?
You're a Bills fan. Who is your number one, most obvious choice for the Bills?
Summer Sanders. Olympic swimmer Summer Sanders is the biggest Bills fan.
That's the best you got? I just said Bradley Cooper and Eminem. You're going with Summer Sanders?
Dude, did you watch NBA Inside Stuff?
You don't even have like an Eric Stone Street?
Did you watch Figure It Out?
So this list went with Chad Michael Murray. Well, I'm sure a Bilotti favorite.
One Tree Hill?
Yeah, it's one of those kid shows.
A Bilotti favorite.
That one struck me as odd. The Baltimore Ravens
Also, it should be Benny the Butcher for the Buffalo Bills. Benny the Butcher has been on the show before.
There's got to be even.
He is a Buffalo-based rap star. He is a critical acclaim and a critical and also commercial acclaim. Benny the Butcher is the correct answer.
Aren't there any famous actors or anything? Anything?
From the 716? Not exactly.
Giving you Benny the Butcher.
I think Maggie Gray is in this conversation. Okay. Here's one. The Baltimore Ravens went with Stacy Keibler. Now, I feel like there's a lot of Ravens fans.
First of all, the correct answer there is Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, along with Summer Sanders. No, but Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian of all time, legitimately at many Ravens games.
Well, and I think that why they went with Keibler was because she was a former Ravens cheerleader.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Also, too, the Ravens are relatively new, so I think that they don't have like the old time tradition. Like they haven't been handed down from generation to generation. Okay, how about the Cowboys? That's a tough one. Who would jump to mind for that? And this makes sense, but it's Post Malone who wears that Cowboys jersey all the time. But I feel like that's a big team. There must be some other big Cowboys fans.
I always thought LeBron James was a big Cowboy
Jerry
fan.
Jones.
I was going to say Jerry.
Yeah, but LeBron jumps teams, right? Like then he got involved with Ohio State. I don't know. LeBron. I don't know if LeBron's loyal enough to Jerry.
He's not.
He's definitely not.
Is McConaughey a Cowboys fan or just Texas football?
All right.
I don't know.
Nice, man. He had that one in the chamber.
All right, maybe Post Malone was good. How about the Washington Commanders?
Peter Rosenberg.
I like this move.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Emmanuel Quickly.
Slightly bigger than Peter Rosenberg. Even Peter would tell you that.
Pittsburgh Steelers went with Brett Michaels. I don't know. Steelers are pretty famous franchise. There's nobody better than Brett Michaels.
The one that was, I thought, it should be Wiz Khalifa. The one that really got us really upset, and I'm actually curious what Bogusch thinks about this, is the New York Giants is Hugh Jackman. That is an affront. Number one.
No chance.
You have the Mara, Rooney Mara. They're part of the family. Kate Mara.
Are they Giants fans, though?
Well, Kate Mara definitely is a Giants
Wait, why
fan.
would they not be Giants
I don't know.
fans?
Do they go to games?
They definitely go to games.
Okay.
Well, yeah, did Kate sang the anthem? She's on the coin. Like she's all over the.
But it's not like you watch a game against the Commanders and they're showing you her in the box. Like they would show famous.
She used to be all over the team.
I think that she should win this going away. But if you're going to go to the second.
If your dad's the owner, you're not a celebrity fan. You're part of the team.
It's her uncle, I believe.
Yes,
John Mara
correct.
is her uncle.
But, okay.
But here's the thing. I think her dad is Christopher Mara. Anyway, there's so many other. Hugh Jackman, that's what we got for the New York Giants.
Didn't know that either.
Who do you consider their biggest celebrity fan?
Sean Morash. I don't have a good answer off the top of my head because I don't like those people are not on TV when you watch games.
Yeah,
they're not showing people partying at MetLife on a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Look at the internet, it just lists a bunch of Knicks fans. They have no real Giants fans.
Okay, but you made 2 recent runs to the Super Bowl. There was nobody there.
Yeah, there's zero chance Hugh Jackman was at MetLife Stadium in the last year.
I can't think of any.
He was.
No,
That's why they put him, because he showed up with Blake Lively or something.
Oh.
Michael Strahan.
You can't do a former
that's a little
player.
different.
Yeah. I know. I don't
sad
have a
for
good
the Giants.
Agreed.
I don't think the Giants are a wildly popular team
They've been
anymore.
around for 100 years.
They're also not a cool team, so no one's wearing their jersey on stage
Well,
somewhere.
Odell Beckham was cool, but after
that's been a long time. And people liked him, not the Giants.
But even when Eli was in his prime, no one was really wearing Eli jersey.
No. And in those Super Bowl runs, there was no cheesy celebrity bandwagon person.
You have an Eli Manning jersey?
When I was a child, yes.
Okay. I don't think I'd buy Eli.
No, Hugh Jackman was
Super
a
Bowl
misstep.
champion.
They should have gone with anybody.
Yeah. And you guys still have not gotten to the headline of this list.
What?
Who's the Dolphins' #1 fan?
Well, of course, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I get a ticket stub on Johnny Depp attending a Dolphins game?
He's not in international waters hiding out somewhere.
Can Ticketmaster confirm he's been to a game?
Can I would have gone with rating point on if he's watched any game.
See, I would have gone Tampa
Does he know
Bay
what
Buccaneers
planet
with him.
he's on? Let alone is he in a Dolphins game?
Still in the chocolate factory.
Should have done the Bucks, Pirates.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect.
No, the Bucks already have their fan.
But
It's
the
Dick
Dolphins,
Vitale.
the Dolphins have all these celebrities who bought into the team, like Serena.
Right.
So there's got to be, and also they're more famous Dolphin fans. Yeah, okay, so this list is not perfect. Guy Fieri with the Raiders, that's a thing.
Yes.
I know that.
That makes sense.
Bryan Cranston is a lifelong Rams fan.
And John Bon Jovi is a Patriots fan. He's from New Jersey, but he's
best friends with Kraft.
always in the Kraft box.
George Clooney is from Cincinnati. Because his dad was a newscaster there. Dan Patrick grew up near the Clooneys, so I know that. Steph Curry and the Panthers, I could buy that.
He was banging the drum thing that they have. I was a little surprised about Justin Timberlake as a Packer fan.
No idea. Could be.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne should definitely be the most famous Packer fan. I agree.
Who'd they pick for the Seahawks?
They pick Mike McCready.
Yeah, I mean.
From Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I think Eddie Vedder's a Seahawk fan too, and he's the front man of the band.
He's a Seahawk fan?
I'm assuming.
I think. You know what? He's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
He left Chicago.
Yeah, I thought he was.
But
Chicago.
What made me think of him was he's done their version of like their pregame. Did they ring something?
The 12th man.
The 12th man. Like he's put a flag out or whatever. Like he's been there.
This one got you mad.
The 12th
Adam
man.
Sandler for the Jets. Not mad, but you thought Larry David might be better for the Jets than Adam Sandler.
I mean, Larry David is calling the coach and the general manager to like suggest players. I don't know if Sandler's doing that. Harry Connick Jr. as a Saints that's perfect.
I gotta tell you, Adam Sandler, as busy as with his movies, watches 14 hours of sports a day. So that's not a bad one though. That guy lives for football and all these things. Larry David's pretty good. Josh Duhamel definitely for the Vikings, by the way. I've seen him talk about the Vikings. Former college football player. Hunk.
Glad you got that in there.
Amy Adams for the Broncos? Yeah, right.
Her word against no one's. Thank you to Manny Rodriguez. Thank you to Pete Pilati. Thank you to Andrew Bogush, Andrew Kaplan, Guido's Coffee Drinkers. Tomorrow we reveal the first quarter of the bracket on the greatest sitcom of all time.
In the heart of the game, under the bright lights, EJ stood ready, aiming for new heights. But fate took a turn on that somber play, left us all speechless, nothing to say. Chase me, oh, it has left us in the silence, the crowd's hush, dreams on hold, the cheers now freeze. Hope fades out with a gentle breeze. Once danced on the field, now a quiet rest. Each stride a memory, we thought you the best. The journey's paused, the spirit feels heavy. Oh, how we miss you, strong and steady. Chase me, oh, it has left us in the silence, the crowd's hush, dreams on hold, the cheers now freeze. Hope fades out with a gentle breeze. Can the stars align once more for you? Healing whispers in the morning dew. We stand by you in highs and lows, waiting for the day you rise and glow. And chase me, all it has left us in the silence, the crowd's hush, dreams on hold, the cheers now freeze. Hope fades out with a gentle breeze. Can the stars align once more for you? Healing whispers in the morning dew. We stand by you in highs and lows, waiting for the day you rise and glow. AJ's me, the story untold in every heart. Your courage holds through the pain, through the strife. We'll wait for the day you